Okay, I think we've got it all set up. We're still a little rusty because we did get a 90-day ban from YouTube. Still not happy about that. No, still got kind of a grudge. But we're getting back into the swing of things. So I am Gory B Movie.
I'm Danny Nightmare.
And we're Horror Addicts, and this is Horror Addicts Live. And on this stream, it's our normally monthly wrap-up stream. This is a summer wrap-up stream since we were banned from YouTube. So it's what we've been reading, watching, playing, experiencing in the world of horror for the last 3 months. Hot damn, it is hot in here.
Yes, it is.
Crank that AC.
Hopefully it's not too loud. Give it a shot.
Alright, so let us know if you can hear us okay, if everything looks okay, because like I said, we are a little out of practice. In the chat, there's our buddy Zachary, Ivan from the Movie Void, Shattered Perfection, Chop Block, Rubber Soul, Oh Sweet Al's Horror Shop is here, Reanimator Reviews, and Isabel. So hey guys!
How you doing?
So what have we been watching? Should we start with books?
Sure.
Let's start with books.
I've been reading Growing Up with Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Is our fan too loud? I don't know, turn it down a little bit. Is that better? I don't know. Let us know how it sounds. So we can't hear it on your end. Alright. Okay, they can hear us, and hopefully it's not too loud. Like the mic's not cutting off. Hey, Mike's here! Mike Finn!
What's up, Mike Finn?
So, Manos, Growing Up with Manos.
Yep.
Written by Jackie Ray Newman, who was the little girl in Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Well, her and a kind of a ghostwriter wrote it, but they collabed together.
A real ghost?
I would like to think so. But she did have help writing it, but she's the one regaling the life story, obviously. And it's very interesting. There's some crazy stuff that went on. A lot of the people like to mess with that director because he was quite the shyster, but he didn't pay a lot of attention to his directing, and because he was also the main star, and they would put like beer cans in the back of like Torgo's like room and other stuff, and just to see if he would even notice the continuity errors. He didn't. So
I don't think he was that qualified a director.
He was a qualified like door-to-door salesman, basically. He could sell you sand in the desert, and that's like, where they filmed it.
you have two kinds of directors in the movie world. You have yours that are true artists, you know, your John Carpenters, your Wes Cravens, and then you have those that are talented in a different way. They're more talented in marketing, like the director of that, or even like Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Yeah, where they got people on board and they had a very shoestring budget, but he got people to do so much stuff for free for whatever reason. He could talk his way into it, but we all saw the finished product of Manos, so...
So what other insights are you getting from reading the book? Oh, you want to show them the book? Did you bring it?
No. But it's alright.
He'll review it soon.
I owned the book for a while and I skimmed through it a long time ago, but now I'm actually working on a review, so I'm rereading it. The only thing new that I've been reading is that I got the Gwar comics that just came out recently. Orgasmageddon.
Ooh, I need to read these.
Yep. Let's see, here's the first issue. I have a shirt of that one. It's pretty cool. Show that.
It's like show and tell. Look at what we got!
And then this one had the crack cunt, like a kraken,
oh my god!
But it's a big vagina with tentacles.
That's my kind of art.
Yes. And now this is my kind of art. I wish they would make a shirt out of this one. It's got Slimenstra Hyman riding Gorgor, and she's got a bunch of heads. Donald Trump is one of the heads that she has on a pike there. And that is just... Oop, I think I broke the camera.
The awesomeness of Gwar broke the camera.
And then this is the conclusion where they take on Mr. Perfect.
How's the art? Who drew it?
McGuire Minor, Nellie Dale, and Jensen Exposito.
So have you started reading them yet?
Yeah, I've gotten through 3 out of the 4. One of the saddest parts is they go back in time. Well, they go back through a lot of time. They crash the Hindenburg, the Titanic, and a whole bunch of other crazy shit. But they do go back in time right after the Jerry Springer episode of Gwar was filmed, and they get to hang out with Odorous again for a while. And Odorous doesn't know what happens in the future, so when they say goodbye to him, it's actually kind of emotional, and he doesn't get why they, like, because they're scumdogs. They're not supposed to have emotion or be sad. He's like, what?
So he is their leader!
Yeah, but they don't know what happens to him,
oh, that's
sadly.
Sad.
He passes away.
So, I'm going to share some of what I've been reading. So I kind of cheated because it's summer and I tend to read more in the winter when it's cold outside. During the summer, I do a lot of gardening and hiking and swimming and I'm skating. So I'm not reading as much and the nights are shorter. So I also read a lot at night. But I did cheat and read a really easy read that I read while camping. And I really enjoyed this. It's called Death Count by Stacy Ponder and Alexandra West, who I love from Faculty of Horror, did the introduction on this. And I love this. I love cheesy art, as you guys know. If you guys follow me, Gory Draws Dongs on Instagram, I like to draw horror characters in the shape of penises. Yeah. They're called dongatures. I also draw a lot of my friends as dongs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just because I can't draw arms and I can't draw legs, but I'm really good at drawing testicles.
Yeah, you have some pretty good ones of... let's see, Dead West from Screaming Soup and Dr. Wolfula. So
I love Dr. Wolfula. So I read this book. I love it. It's pretty much just drawings with a bit of an introduction for each movie, and I like her introductions a lot. It gives you insight into why she likes a lot of these movies, and her opinions on some of them really I thought were interesting because we all have our different favorites. We all have our different opinions. I love all the movies, but I always love hearing somebody else's perspective, why they like a movie that maybe wasn't as high on my list more. And I thought her take on it was really good. Mike Finn, you are a patron, and so you know what? I will draw you as a dong. You're also a local boy. He is from Wenatchee, Washington, just like us. He also went to high school with me. Me and Mike, we go way back. Mike is good people. I want to show you guys some of the art in here because I just think it's really fun. Casual Friday. Very summery, Michael. Jason. Jesus, what is wrong with my brain? But here, the highlight of this book, the draw of this book, bump. Where is fucking Lee when I need him? Dum-dums. So she draws every single kill in the entire Friday the 13th franchise that she considers to be canon. So she goes up to, I think she goes up to Jason Goes to Hell. Let me see. I don't remember. I'm gonna double check. Damn, Nate. Yeah, she goes up to Jason X. So that's where she kind of calls off the canon. But yeah, she even draws the boobs. And I just broke the camera. So there's a little animated boob right there. So this is really fun. I got this for my birthday, I think. But
isn't that like it reminds me of a Side 9 Happiness.
It does a lot. There's Pamela Voorhees on the cover. This was a lot of fun. It was a really fun summer read. So if you just want something that's not going to take up a lot of time, I read this in a couple sittings while camping. Just something fun, something light, something summer. This is a great summer read, and you can find it on Amazon for a really good price. I think it's like $10. It's a great book. Another fun summer read, and this is more of a coffee table book if your coffee table's like my coffee table and you gotta move the bodies aside just to put something on it. So, Doc the Metal Freak, God, we love him.
He says go to detention for cheating on reading. He also says Manos, the Feet of Destiny. Just to jump back to that real quick, it was funny, they also like to mess with the director because they had a clapperboard, which they didn't really need since there was no sound while filming at all. They dubbed it later with 3 people, and they did a horrible job, but with the clapperboard, they would always change it to say stuff like that. They had mangoes, the cans of fruit, and just all kinds of weird shit just to piss him off.
I tell you what, because Movie Void, my buddy Ivan, also wants to be drunk as a dong. This month only, we will do a special on Horror Addicts Anonymous, which is our Patreon sort of Horror Addicts club that you can join for as low as $1. I will draw all of the patrons that want to be drawn as dongs through the month of August. So if you join, you get to be a dong. There you go. Another fun coffee table book summer read that I got is The Alien Next Door. Where's the camera? There we go. So this, in case you're wondering, what does a xenomorph do when it's not trying to kill people? Like, what happens during the off time? There's the alien on the cover feeding our lovely Jonesy.
Aww.
She's not a bad gal. She is not a bad gal. I feel like the movies paint her in kind of a negative light. Oh, what? Game over, man. Game over. My camera is all sorts of buggy. Xenomorph at the dentist.
2 sets of teeth.
The camera. Technical difficulties. So, Alien at the Dentist, this is just a picture book. It's a picture book for grown-ups.
Hang in there with Jones.
There's, you see Ripley in here. You see her spending a lot of time with Jonesy, playing basketball with Ripley. This is just a really fun picture book. I think it's like $14.99 on Amazon, and it's breaking my camera. So I'm just going to stop showing you that book, because apparently the awesomeness of this book is just too much.
Okay, well, Doc knows this, and I haven't posted the video yet, but I filmed it a while ago, and it should be up soon on my personal channel. I drank a pickle slushie, and that was about one of the most horrific things I think I've done all summer, so look for that video soon.
So, let's talk about this book. The Physics of the Buffyverse, it explains everything that happens in Buffy using physics. So, how it could actually feasibly happen. There's lots of diagrams in here. It's really cool. So, if you like science, or you like Buffy, or you just are a nerd and it sounds interesting, this is a really good book. I actually haven't started reading it yet, but I did just get it in the mail a few days ago. Got it from eBay for like $4 used, but it looks pretty good. Another one I got, this one's been out for a little while now, but I really love this series. I've read every book in the series, is Undead and Unforgiven. It's the newest Queen Betsy book. The first one, Undead and Unwed, is this girl who's just kind of a normal girl. She gets attacked by a whole bunch of hoodlums. And then a few days later, she dies. She gets hit by a car, but then she realizes she can't die. So she tries experimenting with this. She tries doing all these things to kill herself, and she realizes, no, she can't die. And in the process, she also meets a guy who's trying to kill himself, who's a doctor, who becomes her new, best friend. And she gets in touch with her former, best friend from when she was alive, who's got tons of money. They end up, setting up shop. And they find out that not only is she incapable of dying, she's a vampire. And when she meets another vampire, she finds out that not only is she a vampire, she is the prophesized queen of the vampires. And the guy who wants to be king of the vampires starts trying to, seduce her to, get some extra power and stuff. And she's like, well, fuck that. So, spoiler alert, they end up getting together. But, yeah, this is the newest of that series of books. They're really raunchy. They're really funny. They're really just fun summer reads. So I got that one. If you guys ever want a review of that series, I think there are maybe 14 books in that series. Vampires can die by sunlight and stakes and a few other things in this series, but she can't die because she's the queen of the vampires, and she has yet to find anything that kills her. And throughout the series, she finds out that she has a half-sister who's, they have different mothers, only her half-sister's mother is the devil, because her stepmother was possessed by the devil at the time she was conceived. There's some really fun characters. So
slightly kind of like Blade, where she doesn't have the weaknesses of the vampire, but the strengths of it.
And she can also go out into the sun. She can do a lot of things other vampires in this universe can't do.
Cool.
I feel bad that the camera is so blue. Should I try fixing it?
No, it's working. I'd rather it be blue than freezing up.
Okay.
The other one wouldn't work. This one just blue. Whatever.
And I got a package today from Hannah Engler from Doubleday. And I don't normally accept book requests, so please, if you have a book that you're trying to hawk, don't just send it to me, because I used to get a ton of them, and I can't possibly keep up reading, 8 500-page books a month. I just can't. I don't have the time. But she contacted me and said, hey, we have the new Dathan Auerbach book. And I'm like, well, fuck me. I want that in my life. You were going to
buy it anyway. So.
I was going to buy it anyway because Dathan Auerbach wrote a book called Pen Pal. And that book is really interesting because it started on Reddit. It was a series of Reddit posts. So I will tell you, it's not the best written book. It reads like a bunch of Reddit posts. The writing quality is bad. The story quality is one of the scariest books you will ever fucking read. It is so fucking creepy. And Pen Pal, it starts with the guy when he's a child. He's in kindergarten. And they do this thing where they have notes, which is really bad. It has your mailing, or it has the school's mailing address on it. And anybody who gets these balloons can write to the school to these kids. So I'm surprised it doesn't get worse based on that. But The one kid who is the narrator, he's narrating as an adult. He gets a letter back, but the letter isn't even a letter. It's a blurry Polaroid photo, which is very creepy. And he continues to get more and more of them. And eventually he finds out when you put them all together, it's pictures of him and his friend. This guy's been watching him. Then the pictures start coming to his house. Then other bizarre things happen, like you find out the guy's been sleeping underneath their house. The mom finds out when he's a kid, doesn't tell him, and they move. But this guy continues to stalk him throughout his entire life, and it ends very horrifically. It's one of the scariest books I've ever read, and even though the writing quality isn't that great, he is able to do so much with atmosphere. So it is very atmospheric, and it gets better also the further you get into it. Honestly, I don't think his writing is that bad. I think it was poorly edited because he posted it originally on Reddit, and it still reads like a Reddit post.
Things with weird beginnings can still turn out great. Like Tusk started off as a podcast that was based off of an ad on Gumtree. I mean, so just because it started on Reddit doesn't mean it can't be a great story.
Well, the story is great. Anyhow, so when I heard that this guy has a new book, and it's an actual novel that he wrote as a novel, I got really excited. So they sent it to me. It's called Bad Man. And they sent me a cool little pin, which is cool. I have to put this on my bulletin board. A cork board, but I'm gonna try to get out of the package. So here's the pin with the logo from the book on it, Bad Man. And I don't know a whole lot about this. I just heard he had a new book coming out, and it's pretty hefty. It's also been recommended by Nick Cutter, who's one of the best horror authors out there right now. He wrote The Troop and The Deep, which, damn, Nick Cutter knows how to write a scary story. Seriously. Also, Josh Mallerman, who wrote Bird Box, which, again, one of the scariest books I've ever read. I seriously need to read. I need to review that for you guys because, goddamn, Bird Box was horrific. A few other people have recommended it. But, yeah, this is a pretty hefty-sized book. It looks great. I have no idea what the flying fuck it's about. But I loved Pen Pal. So...
got a shopping cart on it. I'm assuming it's the life story of Johnny Knoxville.
Possibly. So this is called Bad Man. You guys will be getting a review of this as soon as I read it. I just got it in the mail today, so sorry I don't have more information about it, but damn, it sounds great.
Thank you, X-Spawn. Don't worry, there'll be more full moons every full moon.
Or will there?
As long as there's still full moons.
So that is it in books. There is a book I really want to get, hopefully soon. Fear Street came back. R.L. Stine's Fear Street. And I know a lot of you liked Goosebumps. When Goosebumps came out, I was already in middle school, like almost in high school, and I was reading like Stephen King and stuff. So I thought it was a little young for me, but I loved Fear Street. I just devoured those books. Whenever a new one came out, I got it right away. I read all of Fear Street. I think my favorites were the Cheerleader series.
I like the one with the Santa. It was evil. It's kind of like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah. Oh, Lindsay's here. Hey, girl.
What up?
I liked the Cheerleader series. I liked the Betrayal series. That was like set in like the 1800s. It was really good. So it's back, and it's got this cool retro cover. So I really need to get my hands on that book.
We have these little things around our town and the town across the river where people have these little wooden things where they kind of like little free libraries where you take some books or you put some books in. And I was going to take some books to the Goodwill anyway, so I dropped them off on one of those things, and I found a couple of Fear Street books that I have gotten for lols. I haven't read them yet, and neither has he, but I just picked those up recently. So.
Nice. If you do like Fear Street, I would love to hear what your favorite Fear Street book was. There's so many good ones. There's also one, a lot of them were kind of inspired, you can tell, by movies, which I didn't know at the time because I hadn't seen a lot of those movies, but there was one that was a lot like, the story with the babysitter, The Wrong Number. God, there's so many great ones.
Which I think then he made Goosebumps. And if you read the first couple of Goosebumps, they're really kind of violent because I think he hadn't quite found his niche to get a younger audience just yet. That's why I like those first couple of Goosebumps a lot more. I have to say, when I was younger, I liked Fear Street, but I liked the Goosebumps a little more, not so much for the stories, just because they had cooler covers. I was a little kid, so that meant a lot more to me back then.
Fair enough.
I wanted to show off the cool covers, but, yeah, Fear Street was, I think, inspired by a lot of movies, but I have a feeling M. Night Shyamalan was a Goosebump reader because a lot of his movies seem like they're based off of some Goosebump books.
I agree with that. So, oh god, there's also like a prominent one. I feel like I have a sneeze coming, and I'm just gonna sneeze.
What?
Thank you, Nobatata! Ugh.
It was off camera.
Alrighty. The cheerleader ones were great, huh, Charlie? So who's here? Who stuck with us? Because we did have technical difficulties. Looks like X-Spawn is here.
Yeah.
Recognize him from our comments. Awesome guy. Ivan is back. Doc the Metal Freak. My girl Lindsay, Mother Mayhem. Maroon Moon Films. Nice. It was kind of a podcast for a bit there. Matthew is here. Michael. And Charlie Chillin. Charlie Chillin seems like a cool guy, huh?
Yeah.
He's just chill.
And he just chilled while we were getting to our stuff.
So thank you guys for sticking with us. It always sucks when you have technical difficulties. And also, I can't talk right now. So let's move on. Do you want to talk about television? What TV shows have we been watching in the world of horror?
World of horror. What haven't we been watching?
Well, the biggest one, and we talked
Channel
about
Zero.
this. Channel Zero. We did talk a lot also about Channel Zero and the Joe Bob Briggs marathon in yesterday's stream, which was kind of a spur of the moment thing. But yeah, Channel Zero. We've only watched the first season, but we did just watch that. What do you think of it?
It was a really cool concept, especially with the little kid puppet show, and puppets creep me out, so that was and the creature made out of teeth and stuff. I liked it, but I don't know, it just towards the end there, it's like wrap it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it's based on a lot of creepypastas.
Mm-hmm.
I would really love to get our friend Mr. Creepypasta's take on it. He's a really cool guy, and I'm sure he's got his own opinions. I thought it was really creepy, but Maroon Moon says, "Where are you guys passed out of?" I don't know.
Where are we from?
We're from Central Washington, Wenatchee, Washington.
Yep.
My hair is driving me crazy. Anyhow, it's really creepy, but the pacing is really slow, and I couldn't really attach to any of the characters. So I wasn't that into it. We did watch Joe Bob Briggs is. Hey, Ben Grimm's here. We did watch Joe Bob Briggs is. Oh, what? This is the thing with Channel Zero too is every season is different, kind of in the vein of American Horror Story. Yeah. So we're gonna keep watching it.
Oh yeah.
But we watched Joe Bob Briggs' Dusk to Dawn to Dusk marathon, the last drive-in, and that was really great. And we just heard news on Twitter that it won't be the last drive-in, that he is coming back, so that's really cool.
Doc says it's possible as early as November.
Oh, I cannot wait. So that was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. What other horror TV? I did just watch iZombie, got caught up in the most recent season available on Netflix with Lulz. And I have to say, this last season, holy shit. I laughed, I cried some more, laughed a little bit more. It was fantastic. By far the best season, the most thrilling season of iZombie so far. So freaking good. We've been watching Supernatural. We're really, really, really behind. So we just watched Scooby Natural, Lulz and I did, which was amazing. It was so good. It was where Scooby-Doo and Supernatural crossed over.
Animated episode.
So amazing. Dean saying, "I'd take a bullet for that dog." You know what, Dean? I would too. I love that dog. Have not seen Z Nation, Michael. If it's any good, let me know. And I do agree, Joe Bob. I've been saying for a while that Joe Bob needs a podcast because it would be great just to get some more Joe Bob Briggs in our life. So that'd be fantastic. What other horror TV shows have we been watching? We got caught up in American Horror Story. We just finished Rowan Arc. It's not as bad as people say it is. I thought it was all right.
It almost like the setting was kind of forced in a way, how like they were there and then they came back there. But, well. I liked it. I liked the violence in it.
I liked the second half better than the first half.
Yeah, the first half, it's like they're regaling their tale, so it's like, well, you know they're talking about. They're not going to die right now. I feel like they kind of, ran out of ideas at the end there because they completely ripped off the ending from Dark Water, which I was like, dude, come on, I've seen that before. Oh well. Still.
Oh, hey, he says Z Nation's filmed in Spokane. Yeah, I did know that because I've seen the cast at Crypticon before, but I do need to watch it. And let us know, guys, what other horror TV you're watching that's good, because we're always trying to find new stuff to watch. We really want to get started on The Exorcist. I've heard Lucifer is good.
I hear The Exorcist is already canceled.
Yeah, that's a bummer, because I heard it was pretty good. And I'm really excited because Shudder has announced, the streaming app, has announced that they are going to be doing a Creep Show anthology series.
Sweet.
So that's amazing. You know, like the old Creep Show movie that was Stephen King and George Romero.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fucking awesome. I don't know if they're going to be involved in this, but that's a fantastic idea for an anthology series.
I love the first two movies. The third one, not so much, but whatever. Looking forward to that.
I'm trying to remember if there's. I should have maybe made a list, because I can't remember any TV we've been watching.
We've been watching a lot of Marvel. We caught up on Jessica Jones. We're almost done with Luke Cage. So not too much.
I didn't know there was a new Sabrina show on Netflix. And I do watch some horror anime. I really liked Wolf's Rain.
Wait, is it because they have the Riverdale show? Is the new Sabrina show like that? Like, is it in that universe?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do the Chilling Tales of Sabrina, like the comic.
Oh, those comics are really messed up. I love those, but I don't know. It's like, if they're gonna have it more edgy, even if it's not quite as bad as the comics, it should still be pretty good if they give it some edge.
And you got caught up on some old school Aeon Flux, which isn't really horror, but damn, it's disturbing.
Oh, I just went back and rewatched the whole series because why not? It was cheap, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that show forever, so I bought it, watched it.
All right, so I'm gonna go over and look at my Netflix list just to tell you about all the movies we've watched, which we watch a lot of movies, so that take a while. Just horror. And of course, you can follow me and Danny. We each have our own letterbox accounts, so that's all there.
And Gory's just under Horror Addicts, and mine is Danny Nightmare. So.
All right, so when did we get kicked off? In April. So we're gonna catch you up on all the shit we've been watching since we were kicked off. So, wow, seemed like a whole other page there. The very first thing before we got kicked off, and I still need to, wait, no. We didn't do those either, did we? Yeah, we're gonna go way back. I think we talked about these. Yeah, we talked about these last month.
Mm-hmm.
So
we talked about the children.
We did?
Yeah. We got it because Leprechaun's in March. We got up to that.
Here?
Yeah, they're on there. Burning, yeah, Ginger Dead Man. Early April.
Oh, yeah, April.
Early April will be Ginger Dead Max. I did that for Easter.
All right, well, we watched Ginger Dead Man 2, which Danny did a review of. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Easter.
And rewatched Get Out, and then I watched Annihilation. And you watched that recently, too. I watched it the first time with my brother.
I recently watched it.
I thought Annihilation was really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There was some, like, CGI that kind of like, oh, that sucks that it wasn't very good, just for, like, some of the creatures, like the animal, the bear, and the alligator. I thought they looked kind of like shit. But the story was great, and a lot of other effects in the movie was great. So
I thought the creatures looked good. I didn't have a problem with that. I think visually it's gorgeous, and it's got such a nice color palette. Lots of blues and greens and purples.
And the more, like, shape-shifty type creatures, those looked good. Like, Hari-looking shit. I liked that. And there was some practical effects in that movie, too, that looked great.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. And the acting was fantastic. I love Natalie Portman in just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And even her rapping.
What you want, Natalie? Drink and buy what you need, Natalie.
Not get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Annihilation is it was based on a book, which I haven't read, but at least the movie anyway has a lot of really big questions about what it is to be human, about just our existence, you know, as it is. Like humans need to self-destruct now. I did disagree with some of the ideas in it, but they were really interesting ideas that left me with a lot to think about afterwards. And it's a movie that will stick with you. It's a movie that you can discuss at length. So it was really, really good. I don't know if I liked it as much as a lot of other people, but I did think it was really good. And I think it's the kind of movie that can give you like an existential crisis a bit.
Yeah,
it makes you think a lot about that kind of thing.
It's a great mind fuck. It's Great on its sci-fi. It's great on its horror. It's great on its drama. It had a lot of things going for it.
So I do recommend Annihilation. I think it's really good. I know if you're not in the United States, it should be on your Netflix. It came out on Netflix worldwide, with the exception of the country it was made in, which is weird. The next thing I did, I think I'm gonna.
You're welcome, Mother Mayhem. I'm glad you enjoyed our stream. She's talking about our last night's stream.
Yeah, we did a spur of the night moments. Why can't I talk? Spur of the moment stream yesterday because we wanted to stream with Jack and he wasn't ready. He will be streaming again tonight, Count Jacula. He's trying to raise some money for his kitty cat that's just got a big old vet bill. So
sad. It had surgery last night. I had to stay at the vet.
Another one we watched was Hell's Kitty. I really want to review
Speaking
that.
Oops.
What did you just do?
Speaking of Hell's Kitty, sorry, got a little wine on you.
You're cut off. Cut off, Dan.
It just started.
So we also watched Hell's Kitty, which I really want to do a review of that as well. I'm not going to tell you that it's great. It's extremely low budget, but it's just the kind of cheesy, low budget little horror gem that I love. It's about a man who has a cat that really is evil, and he believes that the cat is possessed by Satan himself. The cat lashes out at everybody except for him. The cat tries to kill his girlfriends. The cat tries to kill anybody who comes into the house. There is a special appearance by the guy who played the dad in Pet Sematary in drag. A lot of other horror icons are in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to try and review it for you guys soon. What did you think of it, Danny?
It's cheesy. It's low budget. It's just about as silly as it could possibly be, but I loved it. Like, it was fun. Like, I had a good time watching it. It reminded me a little bit of motivational growth, but good, because I didn't really like motivational growth. And just the plot-wise, with an evil little thing, instead of mold, it's a cat, which I think works better in this case. And really liked that the characters were a little easier to get behind, even if, whatever. I just liked it. It clicked for me. But I wouldn't say it's for everybody. Some people aren't going to want to...
You have to really enjoy your cheese.
Yeah, if you can... If you don't mind some low-budget cheese, then you could like it. Doc, is it a remake? I know it's a TV show, but I think it's just continuing on from the last Chucky movie.
Yeah, I believe it continues on. From what I've heard of the new Child's Play Chucky series that is in development, it is continuing on from the cliffhanger of the last Chucky movie, where we now have multiple Chuckies, and he is back in a human body. He's in his... well, not his daughter, but his real-life daughter, Fiona Dourif, who plays Nika's body.
The canceling of Ash vs. Evil Dead is completely tragic. That was, like, the best show going. So.
It's devastating, but I'm glad we got what we got.
Better than nothing. So.
And we still haven't watched Season 3 yet. We're waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray. The thing we did after Hell's Kitty, I watched a lot of werewolf movies. One of our patrons requested a top 10 werewolf movies, so there's a lot of them I kind of wanted to refresh on. I watched Curse of the Werewolf for the first time, which is a Hammer classic. Mm-hmm. I wasn't that impressed with it. I know a lot of you love it, but it just wasn't for me.
Hammer.
I like Hammer too. I just wasn't. I think the werewolf looked great in that, but it's a very slow-paced movie. I just didn't think we'd got enough werewolf in it. If you got werewolf in the title, I want to see some damn werewolves.
All right, fair enough.
I also rewatched Company of Wolves, Cursed, Dog Soldiers, The Howling, Silver Bullet, Bad Moon, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love the book.
Wolf.
Jack
I'm still going to do that list. I'm a little behind, but I will be doing that one really soon. I should have that up sometime in the next month. I also rewatched, because I've seen it before, Wolfen, Howl, The Wolfman, Werewolf of London, Ginger Snaps 2, Werewolf Rising, which was complete and utter shit. Do not watch that.
Though I wouldn't say Wolfen's a werewolf.
Well, I rewatched it because
yeah.
I was doing a list, and
that's great.
It's close enough that I was going to give it an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I also rewatched When Animals Dream and Wolf Cop and Late Phases.
Then we saw for the first time another Wolf Cop.
Yes, another Wolf Cop is amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
I think I like Another Wolf Cop better than Wolf Cop.
Um,
Okay, for starters,
I like them
this
about the
guy
same though.
has a little guy coming out of his belly. Looks kind of like a dong and talks to him and is adorable.
Very Total
There's
Recall.
a sequence, and these are Canadian films, so it's completely in vain. There's a sequence where Wolf Cop plays hockey and kicks a lot of ass. He has a werewolf girlfriend in this, which is amazing. There is even more werewolf dong droppage, which I just can't get enough of.
Red Rocket.
It's hilarious. It's so funny. It's so bizarre. It's so over the top. It takes everything in Wolf Cop, which was over the top as it was, and it just cranks that shit up to an 11. It's amazing.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's a Canadian horror masterpiece.
I like them about the same. I have a hard time deciding which one I like better.
I didn't rewatch the Teen Wolf movies, though I did just get Teen Wolf, the Scream Factory special edition on Blu-ray, because I'm going to stick to werewolf horror for this list, and I don't consider the Teen Wolf movies to be horror movies.
Mm.
I have not seen Big Wolf on Campus, but if it's any good, let me know. I also watched for the first time. I cannot fucking talk today. I watched for the first time Full Eclipse, which is written by my favorite author of all time, Richard Matheson.
Yeah.
Cannot believe it's taken me so long to watch this movie, but it is so fucking good. It's so fucking cheesy. It's so fucking 90s. It came out in 1993.
It's another Wolf Cop movie, technically.
It is another Wolf Cop movie, but it's taken a lot more seriously. It's almost kind of RoboCop.
I mean, I saw it a long time ago,
but werewolves.
I didn't see it when it first came out either, because like you said, it's 93. I think I saw it like for the first time around 2005, maybe early 2000s, somewhere around there.
All right, Maroon Moon Films. I'm going to put Big Wolf on Campus on my to-watch list. Look, I haven't drank that much. I swear to God, guys. I swear to God. Hey, Predator Zone.
What's up, Predator Zone?
One of the few people who actually watches my gaming videos. And welcome, Penny, to the chat. Nice to meet you. So, yeah, Full Eclipse is a lot of fun. It's an older movie. It's a little difficult to find, though I was able to get it on DVD. Really good movie to check out.
I wouldn't say it's as good as Dog Soldiers, but I would say the title Dog Soldiers would fit Full Eclipse.
Michael, maybe for your next request on our Patreon, Full Eclipse, dude, I will make that happen, so... And Drake wants to know if we've seen The Barn. I have seen I have seen The Barn. It's very retro. It's very 80s retro horror. It's really good. You should check it out. I don't think you watched it.
Not yet.
I did watch it. I think I watched it on Amazon, but I'm not sure.
Okay, going from Wolves to Fox. This was probably my least favorite movie that we watched this year. Is it a 2018?
Mike says do it. So, Mike, you did just request a Evil Dead retro reaction. I'm going to do that. And, yeah, I'll start working on a Full Eclipse review for you. So, I'm excited to do that.
All right. Yeah, but going from Wolves to Foxtrap.
Foxtrap was Fox Crap.
I think I hated it even more than you. That was probably my least favorite movie I think I've watched all year.
My least favorite by far was Day of the Dead Bloodline. That can suck all the balls.
It was horrible, but I think I like it a little more just because it was a joke. Like I could play it's some gross. We'll get to that.
Explain to them what it's about. They probably haven't watched it if they're lucky.
Which one?
Foxtrap.
You got
Fuck. Honestly, it was so long ago I don't even know if I remember. It's like they were all getting together for like a reunion, right?
And they killed a girl and like hurt her, like injured another one or something, and then it's
like April Fool's Day, Slaughter High, that kind of thing. Back in the day, they did a prank.
Yeah.
That injured one girl, killed another girl.
Just watch those movies though, like Slaughter High or April Fool's Day or anything like that.
Just watch those instead. But they all get back together. And, of course, it ends up just being about vengeance, and it's not original. It's ripped off of much better films, so I highly recommend skipping Foxtrap, because it's shit. It's fox crap.
Yeah.
We also watched a movie that we really enjoyed, A Quiet Place.
I love The Quiet Place.
I loved it, too. We saw that at the theater. What's interesting about Quiet Place is they asked What the fuck is his
The
name?
guy from The Office.
Yes, the guy from The Office. That's what we will call him. But I'm gonna look it up really quick. It's right here. John Krasinski. They asked him to do it, and he said, I don't really want to do a horror movie. Then he read the script, and he thought it was amazing. So much so that he was like, I don't want to just be in this. I want to make this. I want to direct this film. Well, his wife is Emily Blunt, and she suggested one of their friends to be in the movie. He's like, okay. So they cast her. And then she read the script, and she's like, yeah, can we fire her? Because I have to be in this movie. So that's kind of messed up, but kind of funny. But it really does help because they are a real life happily married couple, and you see that on the screen. There's some really great moments between the two of them that you can tell that this is real. This isn't just acting. These are people who love each other very much. The girl who plays their teenage daughter is deaf in the movie. She's deaf in real life. And she did a fantastic job. I believe this is one of her first movies. She was amazing in it. The creatures are really cool. I won't spoil what they are. If you want a lot more details on this movie, we did do a Let's See movie review vlog. That's when we take you with us to the movies. We tell you our thoughts before the movie. We tell you our thoughts after the movie. But in a nutshell, we very much enjoyed A Quiet Place. It's very well done. I know they wanted originally to make this part of the Cloverfield universe.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, but it wouldn't have been too bad if they had. But I'm still glad that it's on. So.
Mike has feedback. Turn off the fan, maybe. Okay, hopefully the mic is... Oh, I'm so sorry. You guys got a screech? Screech. Hopefully the mic is better now.
There's zombies in the Maze Runner movie. I saw the first Maze Runner movie. Did we watch the second and third?
I am so sorry. Our mic got feedback. Is it fixed now? Should I unplug it and plug it back in? All right, I'm going to unplug it.
Okay, it says it's better. Yeah, they're saying it's better.
Okay. All right, hopefully that has fixed the problem. I'm so sorry. We've had so many technical difficulties today. It's one of those streams we're probably going to have to take down and cut out all the crap parts. I am sorry, guys, but it will get better. But yeah, if you want more details on A Quiet Place, we were talking about the Cloverfield connection. Originally, it was...
Which it would have been fine, but I think it's good that they didn't do it either. Like,
I think
it didn't need to be.
Better not being part of the Cloverfield universe, one, because they were able to do more of their own thing. And it has a very different tone than the Cloverfield films.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like a dramatic different tone, but it's still, I think it's great just being its own little thing. So Ben Grimm, should we check out the new Maze Runner movies? He's talking about how there's zombies in them.
We saw the first one at the theater, and then we kind of gave up on them after that. Yeah. We weren't really into that movie.
But maybe they get better. That's just, I'm going to ask.
I think my brother has them, so we can borrow them if they're worth watching. So, continuing on, because I was really trying to... Oh, thanks, Entertainment Wizard. Great to see you. We always appreciate, I know a lot of you watch the videos, but you don't comment, but those of you that comment, it's like, we kind of feel like we know you, like you're our friends. And so it's wonderful to see, like, Entertainment Wizard, who I know comments a lot, and Predator Zone. We really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we appreciate our patrons like Mike Finn. Really helps. Just whether you're watching, you're supporting the show by donating, it all helps. So we really appreciate you guys. And Drake has been watching since the fucking beginning. He's like, he's ride or die Horror Addicts, dude. He's OG.
Like, we were both doing Box of Dreads way back in the day, so that's how we kind of got to talking and meeting.
Yeah, and he's a great channel himself.
Check that out.
Continuing on, because I'm working on this werewolf list, and when I do a review, not a Let's See vlog, but when I do a review, I know when Danny does a review, when we do a list, we try to make that... Oh, yeah, thank you, Mike. Also buying merchandise. Like, Mike has a LOL shirt. You can buy Horror Addict shirts, LOL shirts. We have some new shirts that we're making. But yeah, all of that helps. It all helps, guys, so... But
we're going to collaborate with Screaming Soup on a new shirt, I believe, right?
Yes, Screaming Soup is going to make us a new shirt, hopefully. And I want to make a Horror Addicts Anonymous shirt, just for the patrons. So when I do a list, I do a review, I try to make it as definitive as I can. I try to give you everything I can, everything I know behind the scenes. I try to, if I'm making a list, watch everything that will possibly need to be, viewed in order to make you a definitive list. So I watched every fucking werewolf movie I could get my hands on, with the exception of Big Wolf on Campus, which I apparently missed. But one of the more obscure ones I watched was Bubba, the Redneck Werewolf. Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. I'm not going to tell you it's cinematic gold because it's not. You can tell by the title exactly what it is. It's very, very cheesy. Did you just sniff your wine?
Mm-hmm.
You're such a
blood. Blood.
But it's about a redneck guy who is in love with a girl who she's trying to upgrade. She's trying to find a better dude, and he wishes he was bigger. He wishes he was more manly, had more testosterone. And what happens? He turns into a damn werewolf who wears a trucker hat, and it's
wish granted.
Wish granted. So wishes are getting granted. All kinds of crazy things are happening in this town. But thankfully, Bubba, the Redneck Werewolf, is there to set things right. It's a cheesy movie. It's a great soundtrack, and it's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend Bubba, the Redneck Werewolf.
Sounds like a cross between Bubba Hotep and Redneck Zombies.
Redneck Zombies, yes, not so much Bubba Hotep, but it is very cheesy. It's really fun, but you have to really enjoy your cheese in order to appreciate this movie. I also watched Lycan. Now, what I will say about Lycan is it's a very different kind of werewolf movie. This is got a very different mythology than most werewolf movies, and I want to see more werewolf movies that try this, that try to do
something different.
Yes, because a lot of werewolf movies are the same. A guy gets bitten in the beginning, they start to experience weird urges, they turn into a werewolf, they kill people. We've been following a lot of the American Werewolf in London, Wolfman formula in a lot of werewolf movies for a long time. And I think for werewolves to blow up to the level that maybe vampires have and some other creatures have, I think it needs to expand a bit more. There's a lot more that can be done in that subgenre. But Lycan did that. However, it's not a very good movie. It's very slow paced. The acting is kind of meh. But I give it props for trying to take that subgenre in a different direction.
Yeah.
Now, Ben Grimm wants to know if we've seen Howl. We own Howl, and I did rewatch it for my list. Howl is got some great effects in it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think the werewolves look great, my favorite part of Howl is the parts outside of the train where you see the wolves in shadow. Really fantastic.
I've seen it, but it's been a while.
And again, I have to agree with Mike. Vampire versus werewolf things. It's like Underworld did it, people loved it, and now it's been in every fucking vampire and werewolf thing. And we can just have werewolf movies and we can just have vampire movies, and they don't need to fall in love and they don't need to cross over.
I wasn't ever very big into underworld movies, but
now that our mic's okay, let's just see if we can have our fan on because it's flipping hot. I also, sometimes you watch a movie and you don't really care for it. Could be because of your expectations. And then you rewatch it and you appreciate it more. I have found that with a lot of movies, though I rewatched The Wolfman, which I saw at the theater when it came out, the remake of The Wolfman. Not the OG Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr., but the remake of The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro in it. I was disappointed when I saw it at the theater, but I rewatched it. And it's not as bad as I remember. I do love the scene in the asylum.
Yeah, that stuff's great. I love all that.
But overall,
Anthony Hopkins ripping off his shirt.
The ending of it kind of ruins it for me. Anthony Hopkins as a werewolf at the end is very cheesy, and a lot of the CGI took away from some of the better effects in the film. But I thought Benicio did a great job.
Him being a werewolf is fine. Just this big CGI... Rawr, look at my hairy chest was just so gosh damn bad.
Ben, I am so glad you mentioned that, yes, there is a werewolf movie with Jason Momoa, and it's complete and total shit. It's called Wolves.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up.
Go for it, babe.
I love Wolves. It's like the shittiest fucking movie ever, but that just makes me happy that it exists. It's so bad, like, all this exposition is so crammed into the first act. It makes really no sense. They're just jumping from scene to scene. Like his parents are dead. He thinks he killed them. He He almost kills his girlfriend. He hurts people. I think he does kill somebody playing football. It's like
he does.
It's this big mess in the beginning, so he decides
He's
to
an anti-hero.
leave town, runs into some other werewolf like him, and it's some old dodger. Oh my gosh, he's gonna come back later as an advisor of some sort. He finds his real dad, goes to war with the gang of his dad, and his dad looks like not a blue, but he looks like Beast from the X-Men, like the Fraser guy that played Beast.
Kelsey Grammer?
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer's Beast from the X-Men movies, just not blue. And then he himself looks like Michael Jackson's Thriller werecat thing. It is so bad. It's so cheesy.
If you want a cheesy werewolf movie where you want to drink, you want to laugh, you don't want to have to pay attention to things like plot. God, who needs plot? Wolves is a so bad it's good.
And then
hey, I want to give a really quick hello to Beth S., who is a longtime supporter of the channel. Beth, we love you and appreciate everything you have done for us. She's a patron. She's part of Horror Addicts Anonymous, and she's fantastic. She's just a great gal. Mm-hmm. I also want to give a shout out to the most metal person on YouTube I know, right up there with Doc the Metal Freak, who is also the most metal person I know.
Yeah.
Maurice the Beast, who has a fantastic channel. So I love Maurice, love Beth, love all of you. You guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, wolves is just
fuck wolves.
It's a big pile of wolf shit.
Now that we're getting an Aquaman movie, I feel like now if you haven't seen it, check out Wolves.
Yeah.
And Drake says Kane Hodder, whom I love, plays the werewolf in Project Metal Beast. I have not seen this, and now I must. So next month, at least you will hear my thoughts on that. Moving on, some of these we won't go into a lot of detail about because we did reviews of, but I did my very first full moon review. Those are usually Danny's bag.
Yeah, how'd working with Monsterface go for you?
I just when I think we're becoming friends, he just is a jerk to me. He's mean.
For Slimeball Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Aroma, he wouldn't even talk, right?
He wouldn't even talk to me. You told me he talks.
He does.
You told me that he talks. So I was like, it's okay that Danny is out of town. Danny went to a slasher convention to rub elbows with other slashers like Chucky, Jason. It's all a very big deal. I used to go to a lot of those for witches, but they don't invite me back anymore.
Plus, there's always...
Haters gonna hate. Just shake it off.
Plus, it's probably for the best because there were so many raids and the burning at the stake. And
yes.
You don't want to be...
Hey, our boy Savage Rock and Roll is here. He requests the best fucking movies.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I love him. But yeah, so Sorority Babes and Slimeball Massacre, I reviewed that with Monsterface. Monsterface is a dick. Do not love him. But I thought the movie was great. I love it. Oh shit, he's here. I thought the movie was great. I love it. I said see it in the review, but if I were to review it again, I would say own it. I bought it not too long after I did the review. I really like it. It's a great movie.
A couple of months later, Joe Bob had that on his last drive-in. So,
hey, my ghoul, the Glamour Ghoul, is here, and she adores my shirt, and I adore her. She is a lot of fun. She's great. Check out her channel. She's fantastic. I also watched Snake at a Compton.
Yeah, we watched that.
I was sold on the title.
It was funny, but the humor was so outdated with references. Like, they had basically a Steve Urkel ripoff.
Yeah, it had a lot of 90s jokes in it.
There was like a Training Day thing going on.
Yeah! It's a little Straight Outta Compton meets Training Day meets Snakes on a Plane.
With the Steve Urkel protagonist.
Yeah, it was weird. It was freaking weird. But it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
The effects are as low budget. I mean, I think we do better effects than Horror Addicts, but...
Maybe. Close
the effects were shit, but damn, it was really funny.
It was. Could have been a little funnier, I think, but I liked it enough. Like, I got through with it. I don't need to probably ever go back and rewatch it, but I didn't have trouble getting through it, so...
I haven't had to go to bed, but I do adore him, and if you're not already subscribed to the Movie Void, we highly recommend that you do.
I believe Monty also had to go to bed, so...
I love Monty, too!
Horror Miser is also somebody worth subscribing to, if you have not.
He knows his shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maurice the Beast, I feel like Snake Out of Compton is right up your alley. Because I just feel like you appreciate cheese. And we don't all appreciate cheese. Sometimes we want the higher brow shit. And I love you guys that appreciate the artsy stuff. I love you guys who have the more refined taste.
Yeah.
But sometimes Danny and I just want to watch some shit.
Yeah, and sometimes good shit and bad shit. You just gotta dig through the shit. Beth, we talked about this just a little bit ago, but I got some Fear Street books for Lols. He hasn't read them yet, but I just picked him up a few, so hopefully he will enjoy them because he does love Goosebumps.
Random side note, we moved over here. Well, not we. I moved here from England. I'm a dual citizen. I grew up in England. And my mom is English. My mummy, who's been on a few streams, but she brought us back these glasses from the last time she did the touristy stuff in London, from London Dungeon.
Yes.
And they have blood in them, which is nice. So that's cool. What wine is this? I think it's a cheap Merlot we got, right?
It's just a big bottle of cheap-ass Merlot.
So, random horror, fun, other things we've experienced things. Side note, we did try both Walking Dead wines.
Yeah.
And they were all right.
That's something we did.
If you like red wine, check out the Walking Dead brand wines. We found them at Safeway. They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I also rewatched Fright Night. Now, a patron did ask for a review of that. Fright Night is really hard to review because, like I said, when I review a movie, I want it to be, I don't want to have to go back and redo it again. I want to give you everything I know about it. Now, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I've seen You're So Cool, Brewster. I've watched the commentaries that Tom Holland did that were posted online.
The classics like that, we really got to go all out and give you everything we can.
Yeah, that's going to be an all the gory details review, and it's going to take a really long time to do, but I am slowly working on the script for that.
And honestly, anything I pretty much review, even my full moons or whatever, I get so much information and I record it all, but some of it does meet the cutting floor because it just like I didn't say how I wanted to say it, or I just don't have a good place to put it in there. It's like some information does eventually get cut. If I think it was a boring fact,
I didn't mention it, but I did reread because I read these every time I take Lols camping, the scary stories. And Maurice the Beast wanted to know about the documentary. I don't know when it's coming out, but I am looking forward to it.
I've heard about it. So.
And
they got recently re-released with new covers and stuff. So.
I'm gonna go grab something really quick, but if you can talk about the See No Evil movies one.
Okay. Well, I had to go to Crypticon and we did a cool wrestling horror panel. So I caught up on some wrestling horror movies. Of course, I went with Kane as See No Evil as Jake. And the first See No Evil, it's okay. I like it a little bit. I think Kane did a great job. Glenn Jacobs, guy who's Kane, the wrestler, he's also a mayor now, I believe. It's weird. He did alright, but the editing is shit in the first movie. Got some good kills, but the plots, It got a lot better, though, when the Soska sisters got involved for See No Evil 2.
Part 2 is really great, though. I do want to give a shout out to that kill with the dog in Part 1.
Yeah.
That is my fucking jam.
The vegan girl is like, oh, feed the dogs, be nice to the dogs, and then when she's hanging and bleeding, they just devour her. I thought that was hilarious.
Random side note. Speaking of dogs eating people, we went camping. This is a disgusting story, so I'm sorry. But I walk around barefoot a lot in my garden. I walk around just barefoot a lot in general. I skate a lot, so my feet get pretty gross.
Oh.
And I had a giant callus on my foot that was kind of peeling off. So I peeled it off. I throw it on the ground. And my dog, Brocky, who is my right-hand man, my most loyal dog I've ever had, he sniffs it and he's like, yeah, that's fucking gross, Mom. My newer dog, Brewster, goes over and eats it. So, to the question, what would my dogs do if I died? Brewster would eat me. No question.
Gross. But, yeah, I watched those. I watched River of Darkness that had Kurt Angle in it, Kevin Nash, Sid Vicious, and Glacier. And I have given an extra star just for the fact that fucking Glacier had such a prominent role in the movie. But
fucking Glacier, man.
It was a really shitty, like, Fog remake, basically. It wasn't very good.
Well, what else did you like about Part 2? I liked the kills.
Oh, and See No Evil 2?
Yeah.
I liked everything about it. Daniel Harris was obviously amazing as always. It's just a way better film.
I tried to make it less blue, and now I feel like we're green.
They look kind of sick.
Alright, should I make it more blue again?
Yeah. Blue Babadoo.
Here. I have an idea. So when you're talking about scary, Maurice wants to know about WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleManiac. Yes. I love that with Rey Mysterio Sr. That's actually good. I do plan to have eventually a review of that. Hopefully soon. If not, eventually though. It's on the list of things I really want to do.
I added a red light.
The red light.
My name's not Roxanne, so I do have to turn on the red light.
Turn on the red light. Right.
So, Maurice was talking about the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books, and I love those. And I was sent this book. It's called Tales from Valley View Cemetery. It was written by, I can't remember his first name, but Brell and Sullivan. If you enjoyed those books growing up, these are very much in the same veins, very similar stories, very like folklore type stories. So I highly recommend checking this out. You can find it on Amazon. It's Tales from Valley View Cemetery. So see if I can get out of the camera. If you were a fan of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, check this out because it's got the very similar artwork, very similar stories. It's really good.
And yes, Ben, Catherine Isabel is very great in You See No Evil too. She was actually very kinky as fuck too, though. She wanted to get it on in the morgue next to the corpses.
Ew.
Which...
So, the next movie I watched after Friday night was Gozu.
Oh, you're working on that review right now, aren't you? She's been editing this for a long time.
Guys, I have a strong stomach. Don't give me the whole stereotype that because I'm a girl I can't handle shit. I know grown men who can't get through Greasy Strangler, and I find it to be heartwarming and sweet.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I love my goo. I love my gore. I love From Beyond. I love Reanimator. I love Brain Dead. Bring it on. Buckets of it, and I can't get enough. But Gozu is where I fucking draw the line. Gozu is fucking disgusting. I do like it. I have mixed feelings about it because it's a movie that is hard to watch. It's really gross. It's really bizarre. All right, let's try that again. Hey, I'm Gory Movie.
I'm Danny Nightmare.
And we're Horror Addicts. And this is Horror Addicts Live for the third time today. If you were here earlier today, which you probably weren't, we tried doing our summer wrap-up where we tell you what movies we've been watching, books we've been reading, all kinds of horror things. We got through books, we got through TV, we started getting through movies, and out of nowhere it said our chat was disconnected and then our stream was disconnected because there was an outage in town. We called our provider and apparently everyone in town lost their internet with that provider. So we were like, well, screw it. We're just going to go out to dinner and go see a movie. So we went and saw Incredibles 2.
It was incredibly 2.
Yeah. Hey, Ben Grimm's back. There's someone from earlier. The cat was in.
Third time's a charm, hopefully. Knock on
wood.
So,
at least, I think what I'm going to do, normally I just leave the streams up when they're finished. I think this one I will actually take it down and piece this.
Frankenstein the stream together.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Ben's back. And it's great to see Jordan, Giving Up 96, who has a great channel. He does lots of unboxings and fun stuff on his show. We've been longtime friends with him. He's an awesome guy. And Dutch Chairman, who is a friend of mine from the Slut Pit and the Gory Hole. So,
Isabel's back.
Isabel is back. Hey!
We'll probably be taking Lols to the Teen Titans movie soon. We just saw The Incredibles 2. It was pretty good. I haven't seen the first one for a long time, but I think I like this one a little better, maybe.
I liked it better, too. We get more Jack with powers, which is really fun.
I liked Jack a lot more. I didn't really like him in the first one.
I like Demon Jack.
I like the raccoon that tries to kill Jack.
Yeah. So we're slowly going to go back through and talk about everything we watched this summer during our ban. Manos Returns, we did do a Let's See vlog of that. We actually watched that at CryptoCon. We watched the worldwide premiere. The only people who got to see it before us were the people who supported it on Kickstarter and had it sent to them on Blu-ray.
A week before.
Yeah, and surprisingly, even though Manos is one of the worst movies of all time, The sequel was pretty good. It had a bit of fun with the concept while still showing that they had respect for it, that they understood the universe that it was in, still finding ways to make that scary. The guy who played Torgo was fucking amazing.
And the Master came back. He got to be in it. So.
And Jackie came back.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman who played her mother came back. And just fantastic filmmakers involved with that.
And the person who played the new sheriff was the son of the person who played the old sheriff. So.
Yeah. So it was really cool. It was a good one. If you want to hear more about that, of course, check out our Let's See movie review blog on the channel.
Yes, rest in peace, Brian Christopher. He went out the same way my wrestling trainer went out. Really sad. So it was actually 3 wrestling deaths that happened right away. So pretty sad.
What were they?
Ivan Koloff. I can't remember the third one right now.
And the next one we saw, we'll just kind of brief over again because we also have a Let's See movie review blog of it. We did see Truth or Dare.
Mm-hmm.
It was a money cash grab Blumhousey film.
The truth is I kind of saw it on a dare.
But if you want more about that, you can watch the vlog we did. And the next one I need to do a review of this. I actually watched it for a review, and I'm probably going to have to go watch it again because it's been too long, but I did take notes. I will be doing a review of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer very soon.
Isn't there even more?
Yeah, I want to do both. I want to do I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. So I've never even seen that one, but I rewatched I Still Know What You Did Last Summer for a review and took some notes. I'm probably going to rewatch it again and then just write a script or something.
I'm working on a script for a short film called I Have No Clue What You Did Last Summer, but I'm going to Kill You Anyway.
Oh, nice. Nice. Then, did you watch Cargo?
Yes, I loved Cargo.
Yeah, I watched Cargo with my mom, and you watched it on your own, I think.
Mm-hmm. Based off the short film.
Yeah, it's the same filmmaker who brought us the short film, also called Cargo, which if you haven't seen, it's amazing. So many feels in just like 7 minutes. But the feature-length film with, I believe his name is Martin Freeman, is really good. Really, really good. They've done such a great job of expanding that story. It starts similarly. It's during the zombie apocalypse. It's already started. In fact, they have little kids. Like if you become a zombie, you get this like ice pick thing that you can shove into your brain just to kill yourself so you don't infect anybody else. And he and his wife are on a houseboat with their baby, and in trying to gather supplies and such, she gets bitten, and she just wants to just off herself so she doesn't hurt them, but he wants to try and get her to a medical facility, and of course that goes horribly wrong, and not only does she die, but he ends up getting bitten as well, and so he's running out of time. He needs to find someplace safe to take their baby before he turns.
They got these little watches that also in the med kit that tell you pretty much how much time you have before you will change.
And that's new to the movie from the short film.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good. A lot of new characters are introduced. There's a little girl whose father has turned, and she's surviving on her own. She comes from a tribe of really just cool people who are out there just trying to make it. And there's all kinds of other people. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. I also love the zombies. The zombies, when they are fully turned, they get this like congealed substance on their eyes. And that's to protect them because they really can't handle any kind of light. In fact, during the day, they will bury their heads in the sand. And I thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Hugs, Moth Angel. Thank you for coming back.
Hey, Moth Angel! We know her from the Slut Pit.
Sometimes they come back again. So yeah, Cargo is really good. I enjoyed that. It might even be on the list for Best Zombie, if not other awards for the Oscars.
Yeah, we'll be doing the Oscars again next year. All kinds of Best Zombie, Best Vampire, Best Movie of the Year, all that stuff. And if you haven't seen Cargo, it's on Netflix, so do check that out. And the next one I watched was The Pit. We watched that together. Probably
the best movie that came out the year you were born.
No, I was born in 1981.
Yeah, and The Pit came out in 1981.
And the best movie the year I was born was a toss-up between The Evil Dead or An American Werewolf in London.
All right, well, I guess those are a little better.
They're a lot
better.
The Pit is not very good, but I like it.
The Pit is like a so bad it's good. I'd never seen it before, or I had seen it like when I was a kid, but I didn't really remember it. So I was watching it to kind of just mostly, it felt like watching it again for the first time because I remembered very little about it, but it's very good in a so bad it's good way.
It's kind of like The Gate meets Dennis the Menace, like the good son.
Yeah, there's this kid who's a little shit, and he has discovered this pit, this bottomless pit, and in it are creatures, and he can throw people into the pit, and the creatures will devour them. I kind of have a soft spot for this because I went to college in Ellensburg, Washington, and there we have a famous legend of Mel's Hole, which if you've ever listened to Art Bell, it's been a thing on there. But Mel's Hole is kind of our local urban legend. This guy called Art Bell. He claimed that there was a hole, and he threw his dog into it, his dead dog, and 3 days later the dog came, and it was like, it returned to life, like Pet Sematary style. He claims the hole moves. Some people claim that the hole is bottomless, but I've never met a single person who's ever actually found this hole. It's just one of those urban legends where everybody knows somebody who has found it, but nobody's ever actually found it.
My cousin's best friend's like sister, you know?
Yeah. So the Pit reminded me a lot of that. It's so goofy, so cheesy. It's got a pretty cool twist that a lot of people won't see coming, though, in the third act.
Yeah, the third act goes in a direction I didn't really expect, so I like that about it. But it's shit that's entertaining.
See, Maurice gets me. The Evil Dead, right, Maurice? It's a good movie.
Best movie. I was joking about the whole Pit.
And we rewatched Manos, the Hands of Fate. It's still shit.
And we also watched Manos, the Hands of Felt. So.
Manos, the Hands of Felt. So, one of the gals who also worked on the Manos Returns film, we met her at Crypticon. Apparently, she had done a stage production called Manos, the Hands of Felt, which is Manos with puppets. Yeah. I love, that's like the biggest difference between Danny and I. You tell me there's puppets in something, and I'm like, sold. Take my money. I'm there. Anything with puppets. I love Muppets. I love puppets. I love all of it. Danny is terrified of puppets.
I still watch all that stuff. You haven't even seen The Dark Crystal. That's
I've never
nightmare
seen
fuel.
But Manos, the Hands of Felt, if you buy it on DVD, it's actually a recording of the stage production, but it's really funny and puppets.
Giving up, the master will always be with us.
The master is always
I do recommend people watch Manos. It's like a history lesson. You need to see it. And honestly, if it's a little slow, so maybe just watch the Mystery Science Theater version of it. But
the trouble with Manos is you can tell that there was a lot of love in it, and you can tell that there was a good story underneath it, but that a lot of it got fucked up, mostly due to budget, having a shit director. There's a lot of problems with it.
Shit director who casted himself as supposedly a sympathetic, like, father figure, but his true nature comes off so much in the movie that you have no sympathy for him. He's basically a huge shyster. But the people he was kind of, like, preying on to make the movie, they all had a lot of heart in it. They were theater people that were out there, and they really wanted to make a great movie, make their little town, to bring honor to it and all. He just, cut every corner he could so he could make $1, but...
Yeah, Maurice, I'm definitely going to see Happy Time Murders. That is my jam.
We'll do a Let's Go See it.
And there's another movie coming out next year with James Marsters from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He does a voice where it's more like marionettes, but it's a horror movie. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm super stoked about it.
Strings? No.
It's not called Strings. It begins with an A, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'm going to have to check out Strings, Moth Angel.
But I will check out Strings, and Dave made a maze. So guys, thanks for the recommendations, because I seriously love puppets so much. I have a puppet.
Yeah, I like Angel.
My wee little puppet Angel from
He's
the
awesome.
Smile Time episode of Angel. Season 5.
First episode of Angel I ever saw, and I have no idea
Look
what I
at
was
his
watching.
wee little puppet man shoes. They're just so cute.
Nancy Boy haircut.
I buy him lots of Nancy Boy hair gel for that.
I imagine.
And you missed out on this one, but we will be doing a review very soon. Lols and I were big Scooby-Doo fans. We watched Daphne and Velma.
I watched it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was just later with them.
Oh, loner. It did not suck. It was really funny.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
I liked it. I mean, they changed a lot of stuff. I wasn't happy with some of the changes. Some of the other ones were all right. But Lulz and I will be going into detail about Daphne and Velma in an upcoming review because it deserves to be talked about in detail. But what didn't you like about it?
Pretty much everything.
What?
I hated the girl who played Daphne. Like, I just didn't like the character at all. Velma was okay. It wasn't too bad.
I think they made Daphne a little more nerdy than Daphne should be.
I don't know.
It's
like,
fine.
even just kind of looking at most of the stuff on the screen as I was watching, just felt like it was just offending me for some reason. I don't know why. But
Wow. I really liked her dad. Her dad was fun.
I didn't like I won't spoil the ending, but I didn't like it. Ashley Slashley. Now that's something I need. I really want to get that. And Ventriloquist Dummy from Tales of the Crypt is awesome. Also, Tales from the Dark Side had a really cool ventriloquist episode 2 where these mobsters killed the guy and then they made a big puppet out of his dead body. I love that stuff. I mean, because I find Muppets like the Dark Crystal and the Labyrinth creepy.
Labyrinth. I love that. I watched that
creep me
so
out.
much as a kid.
They're just like, they're nightmare fuel. But it doesn't mean I don't watch that stuff. I like to try and scare myself, so.
Will be created by Jim Henson.
Well, he did make the Ninja Turtles.
If I don't know. I probably won't get to go to one.
Jim Henson.
My Summerland will be.
The original Ninja Turtles designs were made for him, like the live action.
Yeah, dude.
That was awesome.
Muppets are the shit, dude. Okay, example, OG Yoda, I'm talking Empire, versus CGI Yoda from the prequels.
Yeah, I prefer the puppet.
Fuck
but
yeah,
it's creepy as well. He's like on his back and he's hitting him on the head. Ew.
Yeah, but you can touch him. And his little felty hands.
Why would you want to touch Yoda? There's no trying touching Yoda. He's either touching or not.
I have kind of like a puppet thing, dude. Like their little felty hands and their little felty bodies.
And the little arms up their asses.
Yeah, it's all very. We should incorporate that in our personal life.
All right.
Anyhow, a little too much information.
Then me and Lulz watched The Stepfather 2.
I watched it too.
Make room for Daddy. And it's good. I mean, it's pretty much more or less the same thing as the original Stepfather, which I like a little more, obviously, but I enjoyed it. My biggest and Lulz beef with it was that he's not actually a stepfather.
My biggest beef is that they just released a special edition of it on DVD, which we have, but they didn't do it on Blu-ray. I think that's lame. Anyhow.
But yeah, right at the wedding night, it all, cake and the shit all hits the fans.
You get Jonathan Brandis, Meg Foster, Terry O'Quinn is back. Yep. Next year is going to be a rough year for you guys because you're going to have to do Stepfather 3, and that doesn't even have Terry O'Quinn in it.
Yeah, I have very little memory of that one.
I've not seen it.
I'm not even sure I actually have. I think I
haven't seen it. I've only seen Terry O'Quinn Stepfather movies. But as a franchise, I think it's a little unsung. I think the Stepfather films, including even the remake, are enjoyable movies.
I think I have seen it just because I remember all the mom and pop VHS stores. I would go and rent like everyone in the franchise of those type of movies. But I don't remember much of it.
We need to some.
I know that he got like a facelift, all Punisher style, and
we need to do some more obscure franchises because, yeah, Stepfather's great. Some Children of the Corn, some just crap ones that nobody else is bothering to review because they're crap.
Yeah, some of those it's just like they're doomed from the get go.
We also watched a very artsy kind of zombie film called The Night Eats the World.
Oh yeah.
I think that film might be French, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. It's very artsy. It's very slow-paced. My biggest complaint with The Night Eats the World is it's shit I've seen before. I've seen a lot of fucking zombie movies, so it's really no fault of the movie. I'm just zombied the fuck out. And at this point, for me to really like a zombie movie, it's got to be very different than anything I've seen. And unfortunately for me, The Night Eats the World was way too similar. It's about a guy who's in his flat. Well, it's not even his flat. He's in
his ex-girlfriend's flat, and she's having a party.
He goes there to get some tapes from her at a party. He passes out in a chair. He wakes up, and everybody's a fucking zombie. And he's able to tunnel his way into another flat where he can hole up until, just to be safe. But he ends up living there for months at a time.
Oh yeah,
and
kind of starts to go crazy. But
yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was good, but at the same time, I agree. It didn't blow me away. There was nothing really new about it that I hadn't seen before. But I thought it did well. The acting was okay. most of those movies, they're more interesting, not so much about the zombies. It's just like what people would do, if they had the whole world to themselves. Kind of like Omega Man, where he just runs around in the church with the boombox and his underwear and shit.
Yeah.
It's like kind of funny, weird shit that people aren't supervised would do like in their life.
The stuff he does to keep himself entertained and such is interesting, though. There was a part with a cat that really upset me.
Yeah.
Not cool. Don't kill the cat.
So, yeah, I'd say it's cool, but you don't need to see it.
And Marie says we should punch him in the face because he's only seen the Stepfather remake. But the Stepfather remake is really good. I do recommend checking out Danny and Lulz's Stepfather, the original 1 and 2 reviews. And if you think they're interesting, check them out because they are good movies. I like them.
Yeah,
I think you would like them.
The saddest part about the remake is when they killed April O'Neil. Well, the actress that played April O'Neil.
Sad. Let's pour one out for April.
Pour it in my mouth.
Fair. Cheers to April.
It could have been a little better, though.
We also saw one of the biggest films of this year, Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ben, Critters. I fucking love Critters. And Scream Factory is releasing a big box set of them. I'm disappointed the box set looks nice, but there's no special artwork on the individual disc, but it's nice that they're finally going to be on Blu-ray, and I do love me the Critters. And my bra is itchy, so I'm sorry about that.
Savage Rock and Roll, we are happy, too, that we can stream now, as long as everything works.
Hi, kitty! The cat is so fucking distracting. Look how cute it is.
We've had a day about all this, so...
I know, right? I have a list on my letterbox of obscure movies that big actors had their debuts in.
I actually love Critters 1 through 4. I mean, 4 is a little more boring, but it makes sense when that franchise goes to space because they're from space. So
and I named my computer after that. My computer is named Angela.
There you go. And I love it, yeah, when Leonardo DiCaprio tells his dad to die and then just because critters eat him. Oh, that's
that
good.
franchise also has Dee Wallace in the first one. It's a good franchise. It's an unsung franchise. I love that not only do we have the critters, which a lot of people are like, well, they're like gremlins, but we also have like the crazy, like, guys from space here to stop the critters. There's a lot more in Critters than I think people give it credit for. It's a fun. Also, Ghoulies. Ghoulies are fun. I just like shit that comes out of the toilet too. If something comes out of a toilet, that's pretty entertaining. Except for a spider. Like fuck that. But fuck any spider movie.
I want to see on the Death Battle YouTube channel of Screw Attack. I want to see them do Gremlins versus Critters because that would be just amazing.
And then the winner can fight the Munchies. All right, fair enough. So, favorite cat character from horror? His name's not General, but the one from Sleepwalkers. The cop's cat, that would be my favorite cat character. But then General from Cat's Eye would be a second. Is The Covenant any good? Isabel, if you look on our collaboration list, I did a review of The Covenant with my buddy Zach. He changed the name of his channel. Cavern of Terror, from Cavern of Terror. Yeah, the winner can fight the Ghoulies. Clovis, thank you, Maurice. Clovis from Sleepwalkers would be my favorite cat. What's your favorite cat? Oh, wait, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry. Clovis is second. My favorite cat... So you're leaving the... Huh? I'm confused. My favorite cat from any movie would be the mutant cat from The Uninvited. The cat when it gets scared, a mutant baby cat pops out of its mouth. It's the best thing I've ever freaking seen.
My favorite cat is the cat from Cat's Eye.
And also the cat in Uninvited is a puppet.
Yeah, I like that one. But my favorite cat is from Cat's Eye. Kills that little troll. It's great.
And Church is a great one too.
Uh-huh.
So Hereditary, we did do a Let's See review of that, so we're not going to go super in detail about it, but it was really good. That one scene, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, I was like, oh!
Damn.
You
might lose your head watching that.
But yeah, a lot of people are saying it's this generation's Exorcist, and honestly, I'm very rarely scared, so I don't usually expect to be, but so many people said it was so scary. I really hoped I would be scared, and it really didn't scare me, but it reminds me so much more of like this generation's Rosemary's Baby. I also don't think it's on the same level as Exorcist, but yeah, it's about the same level as Rosemary's Baby, which is also fantastic.
I liked it. I wasn't scared. There's some parts that are creepy, but honestly, the creepiest stuff in the movie is that she has this job where she makes these little miniatures, but then she does a lot of her own little personal miniatures, and those are just creeping me out. And that had nothing to do with the supernatural stuff of that movie at all. It just... creepy.
Yeah.
Guess maybe because
And
it was almost puppet.
What I like about Hereditary, I mean, I've only seen it once. I, of course, want to... Oh, Jonesy from Alien's another good one, Ben. What I like about Hereditary so much, and it's just... I've noticed this just watching it once, was how much detail in there, especially as a pagan. I picked up on a lot of things that were in the movie that kind of hinted at the ending, that were kind of hidden in the background. So I was like, ooh, I think I know where this is going. So that's really interesting. And I know when I get a chance to watch it again, I'm sure I'll find even more. And I really hope when the Blu-ray comes out, it's just loaded with special features. Because it's one that you can tell that they put a lot of thought and art into and detail. So I love that kind of thing. I love stuff I can kind of dig into and find more meaning in.
Yeah. Puppet Master puppets would probably win. Well, probably, but you know, they got guns and drills and flamethrowers and shit. I love Puppet Master. They're puppets, but those ones don't bother me at all.
We also did Pit and the Pendulum. That was last month's full moon review. Check that out if you want to hear more about that. And I'm not going to go super in depth with this one because I did write a review for this. I will be filming it soon for The Endless, which a lot of you may not know is a sequel to Resolution. I'm drawing a total blank on the filmmakers' names. I have to look it up now because it's just going to fucking drive me crazy.
They also did The Spring.
Yeah, it's just Spring.
Wow.
It's by Adam Moorhead and Justin Benson. They also did Resolution, and it's in the same universe as Resolution. And Resolution is one, we go to Crypticon, and a lot of our friends at Crypticon, they're a lot different than our friends on YouTube. A lot of our friends on YouTube enjoy some of the same crap. Sometimes we just like crap. Sometimes we watch something and we know it's crap, like The Pit, but we love it anyway. And we have a lot of friends at Crypticon who are a little more higher brow, and they're like, no, that's crap. But they loved Resolution, and we didn't like the ending at all. We thought it was just trying to be a little too artsy. We weren't really into it.
Felt like it was a cop-out for me. Like, all right.
Yeah. But The Endless has actually made me go back and enjoy that movie because it expands that universe in a way that's a lot more interesting, that makes it to where the ending of Resolution doesn't feel like a cop-out. And it will be in my review, but I actually believe that Spring is in this universe too. Moorhead and Benson are actually in this movie as well. They're acting in it. They play brothers. They're fantastic. Across the board, I thought the performances were fantastic. Callie Hernandez is also in it. She was in the most recent Alien movie, Alien Covenant. So I thought it was really, really good. If you love Lovecraftian horror, I'm gonna just say it. Moorhead and Benson right now, they're the ones delivering you the best Lovecraftian horror since Stuart Gordon. So they are for Lovecraftian horror, they are where you need to be looking right now because they are amazing.
Warning though, if you start watching it, you might not be able to stop because the end.
It's very, very good. And I will have a review of that soon where I'm going to go, it's a lot more in depth.
The new Puppet Master is awesome. The Lilith Reich, got Barbara Crampton in and everything. It's
well, we hope it's awesome.
Yeah.
But we'll probably do a reaction of the trailer here soon. We haven't seen it yet.
Ben has.
He has?
Mm-hmm. Like
what?
More than the other ones.
Ben, when do you get to see it, dude?
I think you can see it. Oh.
Moth Angel watched Let Us Pray and the 1932 Mummy. Those were both great movies. I actually have a big poster of the 1932 Mummy above our couch downstairs. And Maurice the Beast, Demonic Toys. Danny has already done that for a film and review vlog, so you can always go back and check that. And I have to agree with Ben, the ladder scene in The Endless is really cool. The Endless is really great, and maybe it's called The Endless because you can watch it again and again, and every time you're going to find something new in there. It's really fascinating, very original, and I really recommend it. And I think you're going to enjoy it even more if you go and watch Resolution and maybe even Spring first. Spring is one of the best romantic horror movies ever and very original and very Lovecraftian.
Don't get caught in a loop because we'll never hear back from you. I have a friend from my childhood that I can't talk to him anymore because he's still watching The Never-Ending Story, and it's sad.
Nobody has suffered like you've suffered, babe.
Demonic Toys is cool. I like that. And Puppet Master, unfortunately, I hated when they fought off against each other. Mostly because the Sci-Fi Channel was more in charge of that one, and they didn't do too good of a job.
Then I got a little bit of a head start, but we've all watched these movies before. Are the movies I watched on Joe Bob Briggs's
Last Drive-In?
Dusk to Dawn to Dusk marathon, also known as The Last Drive-In. We watched Hellraiser, which, come on, you guys know Hellraiser is amazing. I think what I love about Hellraiser is it's the kind of movie that you need to shower afterwards because it just makes you feel dirty. You know, it's got buckets of blood and goo and other human substances. It's filthy, it's gross, it gets under your skin, but it's true horror. It is truly horrifying in every sense of the word, and it's beautifully made. The acting is top notch, so you guys know it. Hellraiser is amazing.
Maurice, I would be open to a Phoenix Forgotten Part 2. I really liked that last year. I thought it was one of the better found flicks. So.
Yeah, I reviewed Phoenix Forgotten, and I really thought it was a really good found footage movie. As far as found footage goes, it's one of the better ones I've seen.
Hi, Snaggletooth.
Ah.
Super nice.
Thank you so much. I can't talk again. Thank you so much, Snaggletooth. I really appreciate that.
Sorry to hear about your bad back, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Bad. Yeah,
I'll keep you
Ben
in.
saw it in Puppet Master, I guess, in a film.
I'm pagan, so I don't know how you feel about that, but we don't pray, but we have daily devotionals, so I can include you in that and just wish you the best and Care Bear stare you some healing energy. What else did we watch? Well, then we watched Pieces, which, again, I've also seen that before. Pieces is really slow, and the dubbing is very strange, and it's just a really strange movie. But it drops Dong, so it gets a half-star bonus for dropping Dong. And I think my favorite part of Pieces is when the constructed body at the end comes to life and grabs the guy's dick. Like, that's hilarious! Way to leave him, have him go out to the theater laughing. So, your thoughts on Pieces?
Oh, it still holds up. I liked it a long time ago. I still like it. Good stuff. Legend of Boggy Creek, can't say amazing even nowadays, but I don't know. It's got a warm spot in my heart, not just because there's a Sasquatch in it, but I like that as well. Joe Bob did that. He did Sleepaway Camp, which I love Sleepaway Camp. Who doesn't? And he had Felissa Rose as a special guest for when he did that. And we've actually watched Sleepaway Camp with Felissa Rose several years ago, but that was amazing. The Prowler, I like it because all the Tom Savini kills, they're all amazing, but I also don't like it because it's just, none of the characters are very interesting and lots of little...
The Prowler is really slow. Again, it has a great jump scare at the end that I really like when she thinks the guy has come back to life, even though he's just hanging there. But the makeup is so good.
His eyes and everything. Tom Savini really went all out on the effects of that movie, so that's why you should watch The Prowler.
And I have to agree, Felissa Rose, she stopped by the drive-in for Sleepaway Camp, and we've met her in person, and she's fantastic. She's so sweet. We've actually watched Sleepaway Camp with her.
Yeah, so I was telling them.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted by something, but she also signed my curling iron, which is awesome. She wrote up yours on it. So, yeah, she's fantastic. We also watched The Legend of Boggy Creek, which I had never seen before.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it. It's old, but it's got a warm place in my heart, as I said earlier.
I think it was my favorite part of the marathon, though, when they all started singing the songs.
Those songs are so horrible.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's for the same guy who did Town That Dread Sundown. I can see a lot of similarities there. Oh, thank you so much, Snaggletooth, for the donation. We really appreciate that. She says, I love horror movies as well. My favorite horror movie is The Exorcist. What are your all-time favorite horror movies, Gory and Danny?
Mine would probably be Evil Dead 2.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster.
I don't know what picking an all-time favorite would be really hard, but The Craft, Evil Dead 2, those are pretty big ones with me.
I love The Exorcist, Pet Sematary, Evil Dead 2, The Thing. These are just like, I don't know. Evil Dead 2 is probably just my favorite because it's just Ash is my hero. Bruce Campbell is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I've just watched that so many times and always had a great time watching it. But
I'll probably go with The Craft just because that's one I watch all the time. I watch it if I'm not feeling well. I watch it if I'm tired. I want to watch something I've seen before that I don't have to pay attention to. I just watch it when I watched it a lot. I love The Craft.
So, yes, the original Halloween is amazing. Evil Dead 2, I wouldn't say is the best horror movie. I just think that's my favorite. I would say the best would probably be maybe The Exorcist or The Thing, but
I think my favorite in the last few years or so would be Get Out. I thought Get Out was great. I'm looking at my posters. Army of Darkness I love a lot. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Another recent one I love is The Final Girls, which was fantastic.
I love Night of the Dead, Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. Those are all great.
Trick or Treat's another great one.
Alien.
Yeah, those are some. There's a whole lot. So somewhere in there.
Ooh. But like I said, I
love Bride of Frankenstein. The original is fantastic. I also heard they're working on a remake, and Gal Gadot, who played Wonder Woman, is who they're kind of looking at to play the bride.
American Werewolf in London. Just Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th Part 4 for me.
Old Man Gamers, we're actually going to be doing a review of Phantasm hopefully soon, but that's a really good one for me. One I really enjoy as well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And I have to say, the scariest movie I've ever seen is Pet Sematary. So that's one of my favorites as well. Also, God, another big one with me is Fright Night. I fucking love Fright Night. So, yeah, that's a lot of responses.
Yeah. Pet Sematary, I'd say probably is the scariest, and it's held up to be so. Like, where I think, oh, wow, that's a really creepy movie. That movie and its sequel, which I don't think held up as much, and it's more corny now, but those both movies gave me nightmares when I was young. So.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember Pet Sematary, Nightmare on Elm Street. A lot of those scared me.
Yeah, the dad though from Pet Sematary 2 from There Can Only Be One Time.
Highlander.
Highlander, yes, he is so creepy.
Yeah, he is creepy in that.
So no matter how the rest of the movie plays out, I'd say he's still scary.
We talked about the Prowler. Sorority Babies and Slime Ball, Bolorama was on there as well. I also watched that for our full moon review before I saw
2 months back.
Yeah, so I've watched that a few times recently, and it's a fantastic movie. It's a lot of fun. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, you can check out the review.
And our very last Tourist Trap, that was for our full moon that we just did. But that was also on there. Demons on there. That was your first time seeing.
Well, I've never seen Tourist Trap either, so I was going to talk about that a bit more.
Okay.
But yeah, Tourist Trap, he did just review that, but I had never seen that before, and I had a few people, I'd asked people about it, because I'd seen the poster quite a bit, like, what do you think of this? And a lot of people would be like, oh, it's okay. So I was really blown away when I watched it, because I think it's really, really scary. It's a really scary movie. When the mannequins' mouths open, and they're like, ah, like, ah!
One of them is Linnea Quigley, but it's so hard to find her. Like, she's Waldo in that movie.
I think the acting is great in it, and it also has some kind of dark gallows humor, like when she's got all the mannequins of her friends in the car at the end. So I love Tourist Trap. I've only seen it the one time, but it's one I definitely want to buy and have in my collection and watch more, because I thought it was wonderful.
Snaggletooth, yes, we're waiting for season 3 to be on Netflix. Actually, I'm waiting for it to be on Blu-ray. But Ash vs. the Evil Dead is amazing. So sad that got canceled. It was a Showtime show, technically, and now Netflix is taking it. They have 2 out of the 3 seasons on there. But if you haven't seen those, go check them out.
The Fulci films, I haven't seen all of them, but I do like Fulci, especially like Zombie.
Oh yeah, Zombie is amazing. Zombie versus Shark is like the coolest scene in almost any movie.
And we also watched Demons, which Joe Bob Briggs corrected me on that. I always thought that was an Argento movie, but apparently it's a lot of people who worked on that.
Argento was involved, but it's not.
My arm rest.
Oh,
it's your own.
Trying to get in the camera.
Fine, you can have the arm rest.
Just the just the tip. Just the tip.
Grab the cat because he's really cute and he's distracting. I want them to see him.
He's cooling off in the window. I don't blame him.
He's so cute.
I just want the tip.
All right, you're getting distracted. So I'd never seen Demons before either, and that's when Danny has told me a lot that it's really good. And he says Demons 2 is good too, which I still haven't seen that one. But I loved the makeup and the gore. There's not a whole lot of plot to Demons.
No, not much. They get a weird movie ticket and they decide to go, which unfortunately it sounds like the theater's not there anymore, but it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
They were actually about to tear it down, so that's why they got to use it for the film. But it's an amazing theater that they film inside. But yeah, they get a ticket from some weirdo with a metal mask in the subway, and they go to it. They watch a movie about demons killing people, and people in real life start turning into demons and killing people.
Yeah, and Greta Gerwig is fantastic in it. I love the makeup. I just love movies that have buckets of blood and guts and goo. Like, the more goo, the better. If you get goo and puppets, then that's just a gory movie heyday.
And It also finds very interesting ways in the B story to show you how to do cocaine off of things. They do cocaine out of a Coke can. They do it off a baby pitcher. They do it off a nipple. They get really weird with that. But in there.
We all learned. We all grew. And then he did one of my favorite movies. That's another favorite of mine is Frankenhooker. I love Henenlotter, who is probably best known for doing Basket Case. That was on the drive-in marathon as well. I love all the Basket Case movies. First one, probably my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, the other ones have some interesting stuff that happens, but they get off in a weird way. So.
The second one's really good, but it needs more Belial. And the third one's awesome because it has Belial babies.
And Robo-Belial.
But the effects get better with each one.
Yes.
And the budget gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Basket Case. It's such a unique, original story. Like Frank Henenlotter, I just wish he was like my uncle or my grandpa and he could just tell me crazy stories that he makes up because he's got such an imagination and he never shies away from the gore. So
no.
I just love him and he just has just such a great sense of humor, and you see that in all of his movies. Like Henenlotter, you cannot go wrong. I cannot think of a bad Henenlotter movie.
No, and he really expressed like the 80s very well because the 80s had like just the weirdest shit like Mad Balls and like Toxic Avenger and all these just weird shit that was just way back then, you know, like
I also love Brain Damage as well.
Yes, just like all that weird crap that like kids ate up, like the Garbage Pail Kids and stuff, and all that weird shit.
And there's a killer penis in Bad Blood. I'm probably getting the title wrong, but the more recent one.
But the weirder the 80s was just all about weird, and I loved that.
Yes. He also showed another favorite, I'm sure all of you as well, Reanimator, which you can't go wrong with. I love Reanimator. The first one is my favorite. One of my favorite movie scenes of all time is in Beyond Reanimator when the reanimated dong fights the reanimated rat.
Yeah. That's
cinematic gold.
I wouldn't say it's a better movie, but that scene is...
Okay, that movie's shit, but that scene's amazing. That
scene is amazing.
Garbage.
Yes.
But that scene's amazing, and therefore it should be owned and watched on the reg. Just fast forward to the end. But Reanimator is so fantastic, and it's such a great film. Of course, Joe Bob Briggs had lots of great information in there. I met Barbara Crampton recently, who's just such a great ambassador for, you know, women in horror and a big hero of mine. The movie is fantastic. For me, it's a flawless movie, though. Joe Bob Briggs was able to point out things I hadn't noticed before. Like, I never questioned how the doctor was able to get the zombies to do what he wanted. I don't know. I just figured that he had extra juice because he got extra reanimator juice or something. I don't know. I never questioned it.
Yeah.
But apparently there was a whole deleted subplot where he needs to be a mesmerist. So
he probably killed a whole bunch of people on a ship that had a T-Rex inside.
I guess, but yeah, I never questioned Dr. Hill before, but he gave a lot of interesting insight into that. And Joe Bob Briggs also helped me to appreciate a movie that I've never really enjoyed that much. And so hate me if you want, but I just don't really care for Blood Feast.
I respect it though. It's just because it is like the first gore film in a sense.
I like
it's almost like even like one of the very first slashers in a sense. So
I like Herschel Gordon. I'm missing part of his name. Herschel Gordon. What's his name, Dan? I have to look it up now.
Lewis.
Herschel Gordon
I
Lewis.
wanted to say
I like him
Levy.
because I know he is the big inspiration for Henenlotter, who is one of my favorite filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
But Blood Feast for me just feels like it's really lacking on plot. I've never enjoyed. I think the blood looks funny in it.
He had special blood made for it, and it
made
looks like
out of Kaopectate.
Yeah, it looks like are you trying to make fake like candy apples, or are you trying to make blood?
I wasn't really into it, but definitely watching it on the Joe Bob Briggs marathon helped me to appreciate it a lot more.
I appreciate what it kind of like opened the door for. But yeah, and I also like the unofficial sequel, Blood Diner was fun, so I like it. And you know, he just gets smashed in a garbage. It was just hilarious.
And then the last one we watched was Daughters of Darkness. But Marisa Beast asked if we remember when Joe Bob Briggs started up the all-night Friday the 13th marathon. I do remember that. I remember that they'd always have to skip a couple of the movies. Like usually they'd skip part 3.
Yeah, he would do that on
4.
Monster Vision late night marathons.
Yeah.
But then you could also on the USA Network watch Gilbert Godfrey have an up all night.
Yeah,
or Rhonda
and they
Shears.
were really edited down. So I remember when I finally got to see them, I'm like, I'd hire them from the the video store on VHS. I'd be like, whoa, that wasn't in there. So yeah, but I love those marathons. My brothers and I would make a big night of it. Like we would try to stay up for the whole marathon and have popcorn, and we'd also try to make a lot of gross out food, like anything like really covered in red stuff, like just put ketchup on everything. It's like blood.
At one point, I had like a whole box full of VHSs that I used to record Monster Vision and up all night. Like, so.
I do like giving up Jordan in the chat though. I do really like Blood Diner, which is an unofficial sequel to Blood Feast.
Said that. That's why you brought it up. I can't hear anything that's coming out of my mouth, dude.
I'm listening. I'm just distracted. Cute cat things over here. Like what?
Reading
squirrel?
what they're saying.
Squirrel?
Remembering what you're gonna say. I know. Fine.
Sorry, love.
It's fine.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is an actual Blood Diner 2, but it's a remake basically, and it's not very good.
There's also a remake of Blood Feast, which I do have.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Sorry.
I picked that up. I haven't watched it yet. The cover of it looks like it's taking itself very seriously. We need to just actually pop it in and watch it. But I did pick that up for us.
Yep.
We need to watch that. And we also, this last weekend, watched Unfriended the Dark Web, which we did do a Let's See movie review vlog on that. So
just went up recently.
Yeah, I need a. Well, it didn't go up.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I need to edit it, but I'm still working on Gozu.
All right.
But I really liked it. I think Unfriended the Dark Web is better than Unfriended.
Oh, yeah, I definitely say that. I didn't really like
I do
Unfriended.
think Unfriended gets an unfair shake of it. Almost everyone complains that it's bad, but I think the way that it was filmed is really innovative. I think they should have continued throughout the film instead of at the end where there's kind of a jump scare. I think they should have continued to just keep it on the computer.
Yeah, that last jump scare was like the... But...
And I think the characters are horribly unlikable, but I will say that is intentional because part of the plot is that these people are assholes, you know, and we learn more and more and more. I mean, initially I think you just don't like them because they're kind of douchey, but you find out that they're really horrible people. They are the bad guys.
Though I do really like the actor who plays the fat kid in that movie. He was also in Fat Kid Rules the World, and he was recently in that Please Stand By one, so he's in those movies. I like that actor. I didn't really like
But Dark Web
goes a different route. It's not...
It's got characters in it that are a little bit older, and they're very likable. I mean, right from the get-go, they're having a game night. I'm like, oh, these are people I would hang out with.
Right,
These are
Cards
people that
Against
remind me
Humanity.
of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. They're way better for a cast-wise. It really has no relation to the original Unfriended movie. That's all I can really tell you without spilling too much, but it has nothing to do with it. It's just made the same way, where pretty much all of it is on my computer screen.
It's really good, and what's fascinating about it is hearing that there's lots of multiple endings.
Yeah.
So I only know the one we saw in the theater when we watched it, but I'm very curious to see the other ones. I really hope when it comes out on Blu-ray we can see all of them.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't pull like a Paranormal Activity 2, where there was all this footage and endings that we heard about, but when the DVD came out, like, we got none of that. I was like, what?
And we also watched Daughters of Darkness, which was also part of the Joe Bob Briggs Marathon.
That's the only one I hadn't seen.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that. It was really slow. And it didn't vampire enough.
I hardly call it a vampire movie.
And the deaths were so weird. They were almost like deaths you would expect in a comedy movie where, like, everything had to just line up, right? Like, they have a punch bowl, and they're pushing it on the guy's face, and it snaps in half, rolls to the side, conveniently slits his wrists.
Like, it breaks in half, and then he snaps it like that, and then it cuts his wrists, like, conveniently, both of them.
Yeah.
Another person, like, slips in the shower, grabs a straight razor, and, like, it stabs her hand, but then she falls on it. It's like, just add some, like weird sound effects on there, like Benny Hill or something, like, or just whatever, Three Stooges noises.
Thanks so much. And the other one I watched, I didn't watch it with Danny, but a couple friends invited me to join them on Rabbit, and we watched a couple musicals by Daryl Bozeman. I feel like I'm really butchering that name and getting it completely wrong, but he's the guy who worked on some of the Saw movies. He also did Repo, the genetic opera.
I love that movie.
And so I was really excited to check it out. The Devil's Carnival, it's almost an anthology, almost. But these three different people go to hell, and we see each of their stories, and hell is a carnival run by the devil. And each of the stories is taken from Aesop's fables, like the scorpion and the frog. So I thought that was pretty good. Then we watched Alleluia, which is the sequel to Devil's Carnival that came out a few years later. It does have Adam Pascal in it, who was in Rent, who I think is really good. But that one was a little slower, and I didn't like it as much. But it's all right. And if you're into musicals, I think both of them are fantastic, and you should check them out. And they have a lot of the same cast members that were in Repo.
Ben, that is awesome. You used to work at Blockbuster, and when they switched to DVD, they told you to take all the VHS homes with you. Awesome. Ours, I didn't work there, but they sold all the VHSs super cheap, and I just like bought almost every one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not even ones that I thought I would even like. I'm like, oh well, maybe it's really cheap.
Have a good night, Jordan. Yeah, Ben, I have to say Society is one of the weirdest movies I've seen. I love Society, though probably the weirdest movie I've seen is the movie I am editing a review of right now, which is Gozu, so check that out, because that movie is a mindfuck.
We like ourselves some weird, so.
It's fucking weird, dude. All right, so anything else that covers everything we've watched. What about games? We've been playing a lot of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we played a little bit of that other one, what was that one called? Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight. It has a Halloween level in it, like a map. I didn't really care for the Halloween map. It looked cool, but it was just a pain in the ass to play in it. But, yeah.
The Alleluia Dutch Chairman, I thought it came right afterwards, because the ending of the first one, they were cracking down the walls of heaven and they were going to go take over, and the second one was like a war between the two. But maybe I misunderstood it, because we watched them right back to back, and it even did at the beginning of Alleluia. They said previously, and they showed clips of the first one. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Alleluia is a sequel.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just watched them the other day.
I haven't seen them, so I don't know.
But it's all right.
It wasn't horror, but we did get a request for a Let's Go See. Sadly, we were unable to film a Let's Go See for it, but we saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah, so give them our Let's Go See thoughts of it now.
Okay, so Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is a very... Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll have to rewatch, because I could have sworn Dutch Chairman that it was a sequel.
Oh.
But I'll watch it again, because I probably got it wrong. But yeah, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom
It is a sequel.
That one is a sequel. And
Painted Doll.
no, just in Alleluia, it's the painted doll's in it, but it's not really her story. It's about one of the guys from heaven, and I don't know. You just gotta watch it, but Painted Doll's in it, but it's not really about her so much. He's the devil's telling the story to Painted Doll a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's a sequel. I don't know, dude. Check it out.
I have no clue.
I just watched it like yesterday. Like the
Never
day
even
before
heard of
yesterday.
these movies, so, but they sound interesting. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Anyhow,
Dinosaurs.
talk about
Roar.
Fallen Kingdom. I'm gonna look it up though, because I swear to God,
You broke her.
you've broken me.
She can't focus and move
Now I
forward.
can't, because now it's bugging me. Because I swear to God, it's like, did I miss something?
Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there.
It's bugging me. Talk while I look it up.
I don't know anything about these. We're on this subject. So
Talk about Jurassic World.
I don't want to go back and forth on the subject. So let's
All right, I'm
finish
looking
this
it up.
subject.
It's driving me crazy.
I do love Repo, so that's great.
If you like Repo, I think you should check it out.
Repo is actually probably my favorite musical, other than seeing Evil Dead the musical live, but that's not an actual film.
Yeah, it says on Wikipedia it's episode 2 that it's a continuation with their war in heaven. So it's a sequel, dude. Driving me nuts.
It probably is a prequel, or maybe they're going to be. I don't know.
They should do a prequel, though.
Anyways, can we talk about dinosaurs?
Yes, we can talk about dinosaurs.
All right, Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend. I love that movie.
What?
You know, with the brontosauruses back when they were still brontosauruses.
But they're brachiosauruses.
Well, now, but when
'Cause
Baby
they
was
changed
made,
it.
it wasn't. It was still a brontosaurus when they made Baby. And remember, it got separated from its mom. Really sad.
Okay, so the way it starts with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is we have the same characters from Jurassic World, and they find out the Isla Nubla, where the dinosaurs live, it's going to be completely decimated by a volcano. And so Bryce Dallas Howard's character from the first film, the first Jurassic World film, she wants to save the dinosaurs, and nobody's really interested in that. They're like, they shouldn't really exist to begin with. They were created from science, and they're extremely dangerous. So this is honestly probably the best thing. Like Jeff Goldblum's character, Dr. Malcolm, is all like, yeah, let them die. They're
Hammond's partner, though, who's also really rich, he's like, I'll give you money to do it, though.
Yeah, and so this rich guy says that he is going to fly them out to a safe island where they can live in peace. So Bryce Dallas Howard's character is totally on board with that. I can't remember her character's name. And then they get Chris Pratt's character because he is the only one who can get Blue on board. She is the last living raptor, and they want to make sure that she's saved. So they rope him in, and of course, in typical Jurassic World, Jurassic Park fashion, there's the twist that's been done too many times, I feel, at this point, where you find out that there are evil people who want to use the dinosaurs as weapons. I just think they've run that into the ground, and they need to not do that again. So you find out that these guys actually, the one guy who wanted them to be moved to the island really did genuinely want that, but there's another guy who is taking advantage of the fact that that man's very old and is selling the dinosaurs to private collectors as weapons.
Yeah. Granted, this is only the second time they've done the weapon thing. Jurassic World's all about weapons. Jurassic Park was all about money. They just wanted to make a park, and then the second one was San Diego
But in
Park.
Jurassic World, there was a guy who wanted that too.
Yeah. But like I said, the Jurassic World's all about weapons. Jurassic Park was all about money and zoos. And then 3 didn't even have bad guys.
Well, there are people who discussed it in Lost World as well. It's been an ongoing thing throughout the franchise. Let's weaponize them. Let's sell them.
When is San Diego? No weapons.
Anyhow, but there are people who have said throughout that they should be used for weapons. Especially in Jurassic World.
There's a kid in this movie, and I like her because she's a little ninja, and for the first time ever, she has a cooler backstory, which I'm not going to say on here, because go see it or don't, but it's a big spoiler, so I'm not going to tell you that much, but she doesn't come from parents that are getting divorced. The first kid ever in the whole series.
A lot of that. I didn't dislike her. I didn't really like her. The problem is so they get the dinosaurs off the island, and then Howard's character and Pratt's character go aboard the ship, and they're going to follow these guys and figure out how to stop them. And you see this poor Brachiosaurus, all crying because it's going to die on the island. Pulls at the heartstrings. There are a couple moments in here that are filmed very well. It's done by the same cinematographer who did The Orphanage, but for me, that's where the movie starts to get really crazy. Hey, Yogi Diva Das is here.
What's up, Yogi?
What up, Yogi Bear? But that's where the movie for me took a big turn for the worst, because they go to this giant mansion where the dinosaurs are going to be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and we also have an Indominus. This time it's an Indominus raptor, and I think it's really, really cheesy.
Indigo raptor. Indoraptor.
Yeah, it's cheesy. And of course, as you can expect, the dinosaurs get loose in the mansion, and it's kind of like a horror movie. I mean, there's lots of scenes that are filmed like it's a horror movie, like an old school horror movie, kind of Nosferatu scenes here and there, almost like Wolfman type scenes, which you would think sounds cool, but it doesn't have a lot of budgets. The dinosaurs don't look that great, and I thought it was really cheesy.
I thought the CGI was fine, and they really upped the practical dinosaurs because Jurassic World only had one practical dinosaur, and it was the dead Brachiosaurus that was dying. That was the only practical one they had. Well, this one had several practical dinosaurs, and I enjoyed that.
I still think the ones in Jurassic World looked better. Just some of the CGI in this just didn't look as good. And I wonder if it's because of the lighting and just didn't flatter them as well.
I recently got them all on 4K, and I have to say they look the best in the first movie.
Yeah, I still think they look the best in the first one. I think they look great in Lost World too.
But that's because they made, a giant T-Rex.
How did you feel about dinosaurs running in a mansion? It was like Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
So it was Dino Crisis, because that's what they did. Capcom made Resident Evil, and then they made Dino Crisis, which was the ripoff of its own game. But I liked it, but at the same time I didn't. Dino Mystery Mansion is what I like to call it. Mystery Murder Mansion. It wasn't that great. It did have some cool little moments here and there, but I would have preferred they stayed on the island, even if, like, just stretch out that whole exploding volcano scene and just have a longer movie before that happened. But
We had a wine.
no, we're not out of line. I just
So,
was talking, but I don't know.
I
However, I do love that the one spoiler I have to drop is dinosaurs are all running around now.
at the end of this movie, dinosaurs are everywhere, and I don't know, maybe it's just seeing the dinosaurs in people's bedrooms, seeing the dinosaurs in a mansion is just, maybe that's just what I can't get on board with. I liked it, the little bit of a tease we had in Lost World, where, like, there's the T-Rex in the kid's yard, and you see that he's eating his dog.
And then they scream, and then they cut away, and it's like, what happened? I want to know, did the T-Rex eat them?
But I liked that. I wanted just a little bit, and for me, it was a little too much in Jurassic World.
I wanted more. Jurassic World, Lost World was great, but I wanted more, and then they just took them all back to the island. I was like,
There was also a lot of predators in this one. Not predators like Alien versus Predator.
That's the next crossover.
But a lot of the meat-eating dinosaurs, but with the exception of the one Brachiosaurus that we see dying, it's really focused on
the little bone-headed one. He had a prominent part.
He's a meat-eater, isn't he?
No, but he's violent.
Anyhow, I feel like it lost a lot of that majesty, that sense of awe and wonder that Jurassic Park had when they first see the dinosaurs, and it's just like, wow, dinosaurs. And I feel like at this one they just don't think that that's enough, and so we have to have an Indoraptor, and we have to have them in a mansion. And
Monosaurus is my boy, though. Fuck that. He stole the show on both of the last two movies.
He is very cool. I would like to see more of that. I want to see that versus the Meg.
Yeah, which I learned that those actually in real life were at the same time, and they were likely to have fought each other several times. And imagine to go back in time and watch a Megalodon fight a Monosaurus, and how epic that would be.
I'm excited to see the Meg. And I have to agree with Yogi Diva Dawes. Yeah, Dr. Malcolm's like the smartest person in this franchise. And I hope if they do make another one that he is in that, because it's going to be strange. I mean, how do you guys feel about Jurassic World movies where they're just, I mean, what are the raptors, the T-Rex, they're just going to kill everybody they come into contact with. Are they going to quarantine the city?
Well, what I like about the new movies is they've kind of done some damage control, because Part 3 shit on the T-Rex, and it shit on the raptors. Alan. While Blue and the T-Rex of these new movies have restored some dignity back to those were the movies that brought us to the dance. Like, those were the dinosaurs that made us go, wow, that's what the first movie was about. Second movie was still very good about both of those, except for the little gymnastics scene, but other than that, it was good. Yeah, 3 just said, through the T-Rex, which there was actually supposed to be in Jurassic World a rematch. Well, no, the newest one was supposed to have a rematch. You know, when the island is exploding and like all the lava's coming down, and like the Allosaurus is like approaching him, but then the T-Rex kills the Allosaurus real quick, and they manage to get away for a little bit. That was actually supposed to be the Spinosaurus. So many people have freaked out, and I hated the Spinosaurus too for a lot of reasons. I thought it looked cool. I hated how it killed the T-Rex so easily, because with its narrow crocodile jaw, it should not be able to break a T-Rex's neck that easily. It is bigger than the T-Rex. I'm not saying that it couldn't kill a T-Rex, but not that way. T-Rex also has the hardest bite,
okay, nerd.
the hardest bite that any animal on land has ever had. And when it bit the Spinosaurus's neck, that Spinosaurus's actually neck should have been broken.
I get it. You don't like Jurassic Park Part 3.
And it also had, the weird phone in it, and I hated that. How can it sneak up on people? It's the biggest dinosaur there is in the land, that's a meat eater, and it sneaks up on people like a ninja, but its phone can be here, they can hear the phone.
I know, you don't like it. I don't think it's that bad.
But anyways, a lot of people wanted a rematch, but they said no, they didn't do that, which I think is good, because I didn't need a rematch. Ooh.
I do think they also did a better job with Bryce Dallas Howard's character in this one. She's a lot more personable, a lot more likable. I was able to get behind that character better. But overall, I would say that I was disappointed with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I personally don't think it's even worth owning. But I enjoyed seeing Chris Pratt, and some of the dinosaur action was enjoyable. I think they should have, honestly, it would have been a better movie if they had just kept the plot focused on the island with them trying to get these dinosaurs away from the volcano, while the dinosaurs are also still trying to eat them because they're scared and they don't understand, that they're being rescued. I think that could have been really interesting.
I think it should have ended with them getting them off the island, but that should have been the end. I don't think they should have. They didn't need the mystery murder mansion thing.
Yeah, they could have had one of the boats crash and the animals get out that way. But the murder mansion, it was just too weird.
I admit that, but I still like it a lot more than 3, and I own 3, so I'm definitely going to be owning the new. It's the second to worst. The second worst. I'll put it that much.
All right, so we're all caught up on the movies we watched.
Yeah, I guess so.
Any other horror we've partaken in? Can't think of any new music or anything. Video games. We did play Dr. Frank's Build a Boyfriend.
Yeah, we played that.
That was alright.
You can watch our whole playthrough on that.
We've been
weird.
playing Slayaway Camp and the Friday the 13th puzzle game. I might stream some of that soon. I don't know.
You need to also finish Spooky Cats with Lols.
Nobody watched the first time I played it.
Yeah, they did. They watched it. It wasn't like the biggest hit video, but you said you could finish it in one more. So
probably could.
Just do it. Just finish it. Pull that Band-Aid off.
Ew.
Ew, Band-Aid.
Band-Aid stuff underneath that.
Ooh, Band-Aid.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Maurice gets it. He's glad the T-Rex reclaimed his throne.
I'm glad too. I just don't think Jurassic Park 3 is that. I still think Part 3 is better than Jurassic World Fallen
3 is by far the worst. Alan. I do like how
it's a stupid dream nightmare.
It doesn't.
Thing.
Yeah.
And have you ever had a dream where something dumb happened?
And did they need a stupid dream nightmare in a Jurassic Park movie? No, they didn't. Plus, they could
They're both pretty
manipulate their raptors with this vocal cord bone that they made, but if without the vocal cords, it would not make the sounds. Plus,
it's a dream, though, dude.
That's not a dream. They remember they have the raptor eggs, and then the raptors have them all surrounded. And instead of killing them, pulls out the little magic raptor flute. That's
I know what you're talking about.
It's a cast of its thing, but without the vocal cords.
I was talking about the Alan part.
That part sucks too, but so does the part.
I mean, the whole Jurassic Park franchise doesn't make sense.
But yeah,
the likelihood of them
he blows into the flute. But not only does he communicate perfectly so the raptors understand what he's saying, but he throws the voice of it so they think, oh, a raptor is calling for help yards away. So they run and leave.
You should do a whole stream about why you hate Jurassic Park.
They might as well have just holding up the egg. The raptor should give us the egg, sir, and then we bid you adieu and walk away.
Maurice, we did see the first Purge. We did posted a Let's See movie review of that.
That's what recently came out.
I did think that was really good.
Yeah, I like it. It might be my least favorite of the Purges, but they're all about the same, and I like them all. So
it's my least favorite of the Purges, but I thought it was an enjoyable movie to see at the theater. I've been kind of calling it Die Hard in the Hood because
it's definitely the action film of the Purge film.
Set in the rough part of Staten Island, but Dimitri very much reminds me of John McClane. He's a badass motherfucker.
And he gets into a high building with some terrorist types, and he's dressed exactly like him. So
true. And we'll be doing a reaction of the Godzilla 2 trailer and a whole bunch of other trailers here really soon.
Yep.
But I think that's it for me. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, let's wrap it up.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, those of you who watched, those of you who donated, those of you who watched the show. We appreciate all of it. It was great chatting with you, and we will see you next month for another wrap-up stream. And actually, we'll see you before then because I've got a Ghouls Night Out on August 18th. So we'll see you before then.
And who knows what else we might film, but
who knows?
For wrap-ups, we will have one, and hopefully we'll be able to do it all in one take.
Hopefully. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You're awesome, and we will catch y'all later. Bye.
Cut.